Cheers to episode 119.
Good for you, Alex. Good for you.
It's been a while for me on this show.
Coffee.
I have a fine Pilsner.
I'm drinking water.
Alex has a Miller
I
Lite.
don't like how you said that, Alex.
Yeah, a fine Pilsner. It's what it says on the can.
I don't like how you said that either. Sounded
It's what it
snotty.
says, Grant. It says on the can, a fine Pilsner beer.
So you gave up on Bud Light too?
I haven't drank Bud Light in quite some time due to acid reflux.
Right, you're out on it for different reasons.
Correct.
Okay, welcome into the number one sports show in the state of Michigan, now with a video version. Assuming that this software holds up today. We're on the free trial plan, like free version, and I think that's all we need. Not to get into the weeds, but there's a chance when we're done with this, it's like, we were on video for 1 week. But we'll see. Today is Monday, May 1st, 2023. It is a little bit after 5 p.m., 5:02 p.m. And the Detroit Lions had a very polarizing draft. Mm-hmm. And Evan, setting you up here for your classic thing. Take it away. I wanted to see what he would do.
Classic thing on Monday.
You've done it like the last 3 episodes, but today's finally the day.
Oh, it's gonna be May.
Yeah, there it is.
It is finally May.
Which one? Is that a Backstreet Boys song?
Yes.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You've never heard
There's
that?
a song by the Backstreet Boys. Like
I didn't know
Justin
it was.
Timberlake.
Oh, yeah, it is. NSYNC, actually.
See? Don't know our boy bands?
Oops. People are gonna be mad that I don't know that.
It's going to be.
Oh, yeah, FYI, that reminds me. Everyone can blame Grant for this crappy weather in the state of Michigan. Still, we can blame him.
Oh. It's beautiful here. What are you talking
I
about?
had a couple snowflakes today.
That's why I was confused that you guys were like, we can do Monday because it's 56 degrees and balmy sun here. So I'm just
Well, we're not even getting that tomorrow, Grant. It's going to be a high of like 40 and windy tomorrow.
So our theory about, yesterday it was really windy, so maybe we're 2 days behind weather coming your way.
Wednesday's supposed to be okay, I think.
Not to rub it in, but this would be a fantastic night to golf in Minnesota.
I hope it snows and you get 14 inches tomorrow.
The UP has snow. Shout out to Munising. Saw a picture today.
We're potentially getting 2 feet today. There's some spots in the UP. I'm not saying that's one of them, but I saw some spots in the UP were getting 2 feet of snow today.
It's gonna be May.
Imagine May 1st.
It's me. They say me.
But you've never heard it though, because you're.
No, I have, because he just says it weird. Yes, I have.
No.
You guys just sang it so bad I couldn't understand what you're talking about.
Name 5 NSYNC songs.
I can't.
Name 3.
I don't think I can.
Holla Back Girl.
That's Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, I'm just testing you.
I believe you.
What's on this show today? Well, weekly recaps as always. We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions. A lot of things happened over this weekend for the Detroit Lions. I don't think any single person that's a fan of the team watched the draft and just had like a ho-hum opinion on it. You were either all against it or you were very for it because of the massive movement of people that were against it. Like people dug in their heels and found ways to support it. I don't think anyone's just like, yeah, they did the draft this weekend. We'll talk all about that. DeAndre Swift's no longer a Lion as well. Then we'll move into Michigan State football as we talk to our 2 correspondents on the show to see if the sky is burning in East Lansing. And we have a guest on, aka Evan, who's the number 1 paying Thorne fan in probably the country. So it's going to be very exciting to talk to him about what happened over the weekend. It's a serious matter. Stop laughing, Grant. Before we get to all that, let's start with weekly recaps. As always, Alex, what did you do since we last recorded?
Well, some people came over for the draft on Thursday.
Okay.
Evan included.
No live stream.
Nope, no live stream.
Your
What,
fault.
what are you
It's
pointing
your
at?
fault. There was fans disappointed.
Yeah, you've only said that like 36 times.
Your fault.
So I got it. I'll take it. I didn't want to do
The
it.
fans need
Blame
to know.
me.
The fans need to know whose fault it was.
All 3 people that really wanted it, I'm sorry. I've already apologized to them. So we watched the draft. Before that, went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Got there 2 hours before the draft. So we're like, oh yeah, we'll have plenty of time. Only person who could not make Buffalo Wild Wings was Evan, due to, I'm assuming, baseball. Right. We ordered our food probably within 10 minutes of being there. Did not get our food for a good hour and a half.
Frickers clears.
So we got our food, took 2 bites, got boxes, and left. Try to get back in time for
hot
Evan,
take.
who
Grant,
sat in the parking lot for 2 picks.
Take 2 bites.
No, Evan, we requested the bill the second our food came.
Not everybody returned it back to the apartment with a box. So how did they only take 2 bites?
Listen, if they ate their food in the time between the guy
got our
bills pretty slow.
Hot take.
It was like the Patrick Star.
I'm telling you
like
right now,
vacuuming in the cookies.
We got our bills the second our food came, or asked for it. I wouldn't say we got it at the same time. But
sure.
Okay, you can ask. The people were there. So did that. Got back by pick 2.5, so 2 just happened. We were there before pick 3.
You saw the trade?
No.
You missed
we saw the trade while we were walking up, waiting for somebody to plug in their code to get in.
Because Evan, who's been here 36 times, can still not remember.
It's not my apartment. I don't remember the code.
Tough code.
Well, then don't blame others. For
just a common courtesy, just let somebody in when they arrive at your place.
I'm picturing you guys trying to get in the door, and then you just found out that Nick Casario jumped up to 3, and you're like, we missed everything.
Well, I had to go back to my car to get my Buffalo Wild Wings that I did not eat, Evan. Anyways, did that. Good time. Evan, please, in your recap, discuss the Baked Alaska that you were a hater about.
I never said I was a hater. I didn't know what was burnt on it. And you were a hater too.
Evan,
you were trying to pawn it off on everyone.
And you were like, no, dude, I don't want to eat that. That's gross. I want ice cream. Yes. I want ice cream.
You didn't even want it.
No, I didn't.
The only reason you ate it is because I ate it.
It feels like, Evan, you just keep spinning things off on me.
Okay.
You didn't want the Baked Alaska, and then you enjoyed it.
If I never grabbed it, you would have never ate any of it.
Potentially.
No, we will know, because it's set in your freezer for 5 days.
3.
5.
4. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You ate it on Thursday. 4. Anyways. So that was good. And then Friday, 2 people stayed from Thursday all the way in through Friday. Ben and Cody, casual listeners. And we watched the second round and then went to Ye Old Saloon. Hadn't been there before. Good. Yeah, I would say it was like Muck's Royal Oak version.
Mechanical Bull.
Oh, no. Pool, darts, and shuffleboard.
Moondogs.
Uber driver on the way there was a QAnon, I think. Had some hot takes, including Dwayne the Rock Johnson drinks satanic blood and now has dementia. She put the heat to 95 degrees, wore a winter coat and a stocking cap, and it was 56 degrees outside. Thought we were going to die, but we survived. Very, very strange Uber interaction. She did not get 5 stars, in case anyone was wondering.
So she thinks that Dwayne's idea to join the XFL leadership was a bad idea because he's out of his mind.
She thinks all celebrities drink satanic blood and that Tom Hanks touches little boys.
Who do you think is the most likely celebrity to actually drink blood?
I mean, off the top of my head, Grant, how would I answer that question? There's a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
Nick Cage.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Joe Rogan.
Wow. He does a lot of health stuff. I'll go
Grant?
Elon.
Oh, it's a good one. Solid.
How's he so smart?
Solid.
Or is he smart? Next
I don't know.
episode, we'll debate.
And then Saturday, I played golf with the same
We should
people.
get that driver on the podcast. That would be electric.
That's not. Let's not. Saturday, played golf.
Oh, so the weather was nice.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Wasn't great. It was like 55, cloudy, no sunshine. It was fine. Course was pretty hard, but it's good. And then Saturday night, we celebrated Mr. Cheddar's 21st birthday.
Nice.
And
Cheddar.
nothing crazy memorable that I can remember other than Burger King at 3 a.m. DoorDashed.
No.
Not by me. Trust me, I didn't eat that. But
Who ate it?
Ryan, Jason.
Dude, there's so many things about that sentence. Is one, why Burger King? And two, how's it open at 3 a.m. on DoorDash?
Trust me, when someone told me they ordered it, I was like, you better cancel that.
Like they pulled up to your apartment at 3 a.m.
I guess I went.
Like,
I wasn't gonna wait up to see. And then we went to Evan's favorite place Sunday morning, Nikki D's, for some breakfast. But it was like 11, so it wasn't really breakfast by that point. But
who won golf on Saturday?
Cody.
Cody's soft. He's like the
Hot take.
John
Alex said Cody's
friend
too good
right
at
now.
golf. He's
winning
upset
everything.
now.
I'm not
Oh,
upset,
yeah, you are.
Evan.
It's
You
not
don't-
what you said. It's how you said it, Alex.
Evan, there's so many
Oh,
spins you keep pulling off on me.
No.
You say I'm the one who blames everyone.
No,
you
that
just,
was
you
a
just
quote.
firing
Grant, that
stuff
is
right
a
now.
quote from Alex. Quote.
It's Cody is just too good now. It
Quote.
is true. He's too good for his own good.
Oh, wow.
What does that
That's
even
even
mean?
worse than what I said. I'm just quoting what came out of your mouth.
How is it?
I mean, Evan, I can quote what you said.
How is he?
I can give-
for his own good.
According to Evan, direct quote from Evan, he's too good and he thinks he can pull off crazy shots that he can't.
No, he gets too cocky in moments when he shouldn't. He could shoot even better if he doesn't get too cocky.
Well,
Like you're saying, if Cody is faced with like a simple bump and run chip, he wants to flop it 50 feet high.
No, like
and
he's
dunk it,
2
because that's
under
what his
going
game's
through
at.
This is
2
Evan's
under
idea, not
standing
mine.
on 5's tee box at Raisin Valley.
Is this
and
a
at
real scenario?
This is exactly what happened last time I played with him. 2 under, sitting on 5's tee box, and he's trying to hit this magical draw over the trees to land it on the green. Hits a tree, goes due left, and like he has to drop and gets like a bogey on it. It's like, or you could just like lay up or hit a regular 2-iron hybrid, get it over the pond, chip putt, get par, move on.
High risk, high reward.
So that's
he did make a quad on a par
And Alex
three,
laughed
he
at
is
him.
human.
a quote from Alex.
I did. I made double, but I was happy. I was like, Cody is human.
Did you guys go to that links at Crystal Lake?
No, we played West Wind. It's very hard. We were talking about it middle of the round. We're like, imagine if some of our friends that aren't good at golf played here. How would they
My
do?
name got brought up, didn't it?
No
Yeah,
one said
definitely
names
did.
specifically except Grant. Yeah.
It was on the tip of their tongue.
We wonder. We played the tips as well.
Just
so Grant,
the
we're just thinking,
tip.
Well, I don't play tips. That's just not my game.
driver, and you're just in general bad golf game. We think you would have shot a pretty bad number.
But new shoes, so there's so much more torque I can
True.
shoot now.
That probably
All
drops
his
it at
kettlebell
least 5
workouts, man, he
strokes.
definitely had at least 25 yards on his drive.
That he doesn't do. He just sends pictures of
No,
the
dude,
claim
he
he
did.
does.
This past week I didn't work out a lick. I was busy.
But yeah, that was my weekend and week, I guess. I don't think I did anything during the week.
Evan, what'd you do?
Well, I had a very busy week.
You had baked
I
Alaska.
baked Alaska. Let's see. Wednesday had a game. Did not go well.
Damn.
In Ann Arbor. Sorry, I played a little bit. Had some quality moments, I should say. Not all negatives. There were some positives. And then
Can we just actually, Evan, start with the Saturday negatives from baseball? Your rant was really, really good stuff when you walked in.
I was heating the moment, man. I was in the bad place. I needed a beer. I went and bought Taco Bell. Just disgusting moment
Sounds
for me.
pretty good to me.
No Bush. Alex didn't have any Bush Light. I had to open up a Miller Lite. So I'm sitting there complaining, all sweaty, gross. Grant, you know that dirt, like the dust from like baseball fields that you get and it just like sticks on you? That's how I felt.
Mhm.
That's how I felt. It was all over me.
Mm.
Muddy. And I just disappointing. And disappointing games.
You're not going to say what happened.
What do you mean?
You don't want to call any 12-year-olds out.
They're 13. I mean, I already told them to their face after the game.
I can cut it.
It's not bad. I mean,
It's just
had a
funny how the
1-1
game
lead
went.
going into the last inning in the first game. Bases were loaded, 1 out, fly ball to shallow center field. Center fielder caught it, put his head down, thinking there was 2 outs, and we got the 3rd out. Nope. Winning runs tagging, scored. Ball game over. We lost by 1.
I mean, what do we expect though? These kids grow up watching Tigers baseball. They don't know what good baseball looks like in their state. That's just what they see Javi Baez doing. Like this is what the
Grant, I will bring that up tomorrow at practice. Like, guys, we need to stop watching Tiger baseball.
Start watching like the Dodgers or the Tampa Bay Rays. Just watch the Rays. They're fundamentally sound, under the radar guys. Be the next Randy or Rosarina. Stop watching Javier Baez.
And then second game,
Oh, he's been playing.
hey,
Really
but
good
shout
lately.
out that same center
True.
fielder that made the mistake. Pitched 6 innings of phenomenal baseball in the second game. So he made up for it. Left the bases loaded in the 6th and 7th inning to tie the game. Did not win. We
Baseball,
tied.
Yeah.
So we were 0-1-1. Turn around. Had to play at 8 a.m. on Sunday. Downpour rained Saturday night all the way. There was a break somewhere in Sunday morning. It was raining nonstop Sunday morning. I'm communicating with the tournament director like, hey, like cancel it or do something. Like don't wait until 7 a.m. when my team has to show up at 7:15 for warm-ups. Nope. Mute.
Hell yeah.
We didn't find out that the game was pushed back for 2 hours until we were rolling into the parking lot. So my entire team had to travel up there at 6 a.m., leave by 6
Did you throw a
a.m.
fit?
Then we waited around for an hour and a half. Fields were completely flooded. Tournament director's nowhere to be found, not responding to anybody. So the other
He was at Nicky D's.
coach reached out to me. I found him, and we just canceled. I said I'm not playing. I'm going home. Do you guys hear that? I don't know.
It sounded like someone playing like
It's like an
piccolo.
old school cell phone.
It
ring.
definitely was.
Yeah.
And then I went back and Sunday had breakfast with the guys since it was only 9:30 and I've been up since 6.
How much sleep
I got
did
3
you have?
hours, solid 3 hours of sleep.
That's all
What
you
about
need.
Thursday night?
I had a solid 3.5 hours of sleep.
You're probably caught up by now.
I don't know yet.
You can't catch up on sleep. It's a
Yeah,
myth.
Correct.
What would you rather
About
do?
that.
Hang out with friends or like lose a couple hours on sleep? I'd rather hang out with friends.
It's a good answer.
Like you don't want to be that guy and be like,
Answer.
"Oh, I can't hang out because
Oh,
what is
yeah,
your only
probably.
reason?" Oh, I want to sleep.
You want to
No.
sleep?
Alex has
Evan,
done that his entire life, actually.
I mean, Evan did it like a month ago when I asked if he wanted to play pickup basketball, and he said no.
I'm not going to drive to Sling to play pickup basketball. I'm not doing that. 100% honesty, I'm not doing that.
Fair.
Grant, my whole life, that's absurd. Don't
Yeah,
be
like the
ridiculous.
amount of times you'd be like, "Oh, I got work," or "I got something the next morning." It's like, Alex.
You guys wanted me the only time that this happened is when you guys all went to the beach bar and you wanted me to go, and I had to work in the morning and no one else did, and go to the bar and then go to
Yeah,
work.
exactly. Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, maybe looking back.
So, Alex, you know Thursday that was a
Might
draft
be.
night. Oh, so I hate the drive home from Birmingham. I just hate it. Just
I don't
because
like it
traffic and everything. It's just
Too many
94 and there's always construction.
It's
There's
just not
terrible
not
drivers.
easy.
So get off on Willis Road exit off of 23. There's that BP gas station right there. I stopped to fill up.
Mhm.
Never stop that.
Stopped to fill up. I'm about on empty. Gas light came on. I was like, oh, no problem. Filling up. just started pumping gas. I hear some commotion behind me. I turn around. Two cars pull in right next to the pumps. Not thinking anything of it. One's on one side, one's on the other. Then I hear a car door slam. Instantly turn around. And there is a woman letting the other driver have it. I'm saying every word under the sun to this other driver. I'm guessing there was a little rubbing because you ain't racing. I see so the passenger's the one that's screaming at the other car. The driver's just sitting there, just oh my gosh, like about to cry because she's looking at her car. And I knew where it was going to go, and I didn't want to be a part of it. So I stopped pumping gas and got back in my car while watching what was going down. And so obviously I rolled down the windows to get a better look when I'm pulling out. The girl that was in the passenger that flipped out had the other driver in a chokehold, was strangling her. Swear my life. It got broken up by
How does this not get brought up when I saw you on Saturday?
It got broken up by somebody else, and I turned around and I drove off, and I was like, well, I'm not part of this. I had a little self-guilt. I was like, I should have done something. Should have maybe called the cops.
Well, you didn't want to get put in a choke.
I wasn't going to confront them. Hell no. Hell no. So I was not getting in it, and I drove off, and I was like, well.
She walked over there and said, ladies, I know the Gibbs pick was controversial, but let's not go after each other.
If you see a report that happened on Willis Road at the gas station, I witnessed it. And didn't do anything about it.
In fact, Evan, you were the one who put someone in the
I might get a phone call tomorrow. That was probably the highlight, and I just could not believe it for the next 30 minutes, what I witnessed. I was like, what are the chances? But we learn from it, and we move on. And I treat it never happened.
Fair. Very nice. It's up to me.
Yeah. You're excited.
Yeah, what'd you do, Grant? Something exciting for once?
I didn't do anything. I just worked all week.
Raising Cane's again? Taco Bell?
Taco Bell.
What'd you
Saturday
get?
night.
How much you spend?
My typical order is about $17.50. Sometimes I round up to 18 for the kids' hospital, wherever it asked me to do on the.
Just crazy to think. 7 years ago, I feel like that order was $9.
Inflation's crazy. It's the same order I've always gotten. It's just up to $18 now. Well,
that's absurd.
I have been adding in the Cinnabon Deluxe.
Oh,
which
it's only 2. Aren't they tiny?
You can do 6 or 2. They're like donut holes.
I'll definitely get the 6.
So 2 little tiny ones.
They're solid sized donut holes.
Yeah, if it's the perfect it's a perfect
Timbits.
They're bigger than Timbits. I would say they're 10 bit bigger than Timbits.
Yeah, and they're filled.
So
with
Evan, you've had
dense.
Them. I had them when they first came out, 6 years ago. Yes,
so good. They've probably got better now.
I do recall they were very satisfying. The first time I had them.
Number 7 meal, large Baja Blast.
What is the number 7?
Cinnabon Delight.
Chicken quesadilla.
Alex, how did you know that?
Cinnabon Delight pack.
I know the whole menu by heart.
I really only know that meal, and then Crunchwrap Supreme substitute with chicken. No tomato.
That's a number 4. In case anyone cares.
Yeah. Crunchwrap Supreme meal is a number 4, Alex.
I believe so. You can fact check me on that, though.
I either get that every time, or I substitute the Crunchwrap with the cheesy gordita crunch. But Crunchwrap, I go if I'm feeling more hungry, and I was very hungry. The first time I ate all the Taco Bell in one sitting and didn't feel like shit afterwards, I still felt like normal because of how hungry I was.
Wow. Speaking of that, Cody, Ben, and I ordered $53 worth of Taco Bell after golf.
Where'd you eat it at?
That's impressive.
We pulled into a parking lot and got after it.
That's dirty. I don't like that one bit.
Well, I was driving. It was 28 minutes, and I was like, I can't just watch them eat. So I'm going to have to just pull over and eat this.
Yeah, that's $17 per person. So you guys must have had similar orders.
Yeah, almost the exact same thing you said. And they even gave us a free $5 box for just being loyal Taco Bell guys. Those meal boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a free red velvet cookie today from Jimmy John's.
How was it?
I haven't had it yet.
Eat it
I
on the
ordered-
pod.
I ordered a fudge brownie, the new fudge
Jimmy
brownie.
John's his
from
new
Jimmy
fudge
John's,
brownies?
But yeah, like
I'll be
fudge
looking
brownie.
into this right now.
And it was not freaky fast, so I think they gave me red velvet for my
New
weight.
fudge chocolate brownie. Order now.
For your weight. WEIGHT.
That as well. Yeah, it's good. It's
Order
good.
now. Let's see what it's all. Let's see what this is all
It's
about.
good. It's good.
I had a totally tuna sub today. That was awesome.
That's the last
In the
thing you get
office?
from Jimmy John's.
No, I worked from home today.
I was going to say, you stunk up the place with your tuna.
It was good. There was so much tuna in there. It's crazy. It's the most tuna I've ever had in one sitting.
How much? Like almost too much your mouth couldn't
It
handle.
was overflowing. Yeah, it was falling out of the sub, and I had to scoop it up with my barbecue chips.
Oh, dirty boy.
What's okay? Get your heads on right, guys. I went to a store. I got new cologne.
What cologne did you get?
For what? All the people you see?
It's called John.
See, I've never been a
Barbados.
cologne guy. I don't think I've ever ordered cologne. I don't think I've ever possessed cologne.
I'll tell you what.
I've never bought it myself.
What's it called, Rand?
Gift.
John Varvatos Artesian Teal. It's like a teal color.
John
That's it.
Farborough?
Varvatos.
I'm totally butchering this.
Cologne is also stupid
Oh, it's
expensive.
American designer.
Not stupid, but it's pricey. This was actually one of the cheaper bottles. It was like $75, I think. It'll last probably at least over a year or two.
It's a lot.
Depends on how often you wear it. But like, I started to get a headache because I was sniffing all the samples, and I must have been sniffing for like 15 minutes, and it all went. It's kind of a crazy process.
Break a high by sniffing.
So for backstory, I went to it's called, the store is Ulta Beauty. The female listeners will know more, but they have men's cologne, and you have like these little sample pieces of paper. You spray the cologne on, so you spray it on something, wave it, and then you can sniff it. And then they have these little circles with holes at the top, almost like a salt shaker, with coffee beans in the middle in it. So you sniff the coffee bean to like reset your nose. Because if you just sniff a bunch of colognes in a row, you're gonna be like, I don't know which one was which because they all kind of blend together in your
There's
nose.
no way.
You sniff-
I can do that.
That's
The
such a
coffee
long
bean.
process.
It only took like 10 minutes.
You just
I
said
went
you
fast.
sniffed for 15 minutes.
10 to 15. I went fast, and because I don't love cologne, it just has to be the right scent, and this one was the right scent. It was a lot lighter than some of the. I don't really like pine and like wood and like the dark ones. I like the lighter scents, so I went with that.
Do you guys remember in magazines they had
Yeah.
like the peel and scratch colognes or something?
Yeah, those are awesome.
You just rub magazine on your shirt.
All right, should we talk about the Lions draft or what?
The pick is in.
Yeah. Evan's pissed.
Should we do with the classic? Give your draft grade, Evan.
My draft grade is a low B minus.
Oh,
What was your draft grade Friday morning?
Friday morning was probably a D
Yeah.
plus.
So I assumed on Friday you're feeling pretty bad.
I like stirring the pot and you're easily rattled.
No, I laughed tremendously. I thought it was hilarious.
I had one
I
of the
couldn't
best
believe
text
how worked up
messages
the
of all
group chat
time, I
was.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I laughed out loud to that.
Yeah, so I would say it
I
was
read
a
it to several people.
D plus Friday morning. D plus on my way home from Thursday. And then I would say it's a B minus now.
Alex,
B plus.
I B plus.
Wow, you're cheating off each
Of
other.
course, you copy everything I do.
I was originally at a B.
Oh, yep. And then you had to copy me.
Then I bumped it to a B plus yesterday when I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna go B plus. It was wild. It was stunning. No doubt stunning. First round was stunning. It's the only word I can think of. My jaw dropped. Shocked.
Mhm.
Surprised. Did not see it coming for multiple reasons. Your guys' we know Evan in the moment. That was a little teaser. He was doomsday. Was it kind of like the JMO pick where Alex was like all in, telling everyone this guy's awesome, and then Evan was like, "No, this is not what we need."
Similar.
I can
But everyone was mad about it except it wasn't just me that was cool with it. Wilkins was also cool with it. Botcher didn't say anything, but I think he was okay with it. Evan wasn't the most doomsday. Ben was the most doomsday.
Ben
was.
We'll get to Ben left his voice, but we'll get to his voice now.
He was mad.
Just like what? Yeah.
It felt personal. If we talked to him, he would be mad.
It's just there's some things I think I'm going to take away from this draft is like try to not take other people's big boards and mock drafts as the Bible going in, because it kind of skews how you view what your team does. If like we never once thought Jahmyr Gibbs would be a Lion based on where he was slated to go and what kind of picks we had in our possession. So no one even really considered he'd be a Lion, I would say. And that's what was so surprising.
Agreed.
Same
I did
with
like
J-Mo,
him, but
really.
I didn't think ever he was like a possibility.
For me personally, I knew of him. We watched a lot of college football, but Alabama wasn't Alabama of years past. So we never, I didn't really watch much of the Sugar Bowl. I usually watch the big bowl games, but they weren't in a big one. Like if he had played in the college football playoff, I think I would have had a better feeling about it. But I didn't really start to fall in love with him more until I started watching, there's a 22-minute YouTube highlight video going from his first year at Georgia Tech through Alabama. And I watched that and I was like, okay, I really like this guy a lot. I still understand people that are doing the positional value thing because it is aggressive and not what anyone else does. But as a player, I really like him, and I'm excited that he's on our team.
Agreed. But I was cool with it in the moment. But I'm fall for the flash guy, so it wasn't hard for me to get on board. My thought process was if everyone was cool with Bijan at 6, which not everyone was, then I'm okay with Jahmyr at 12.
Turns out Brad Holmes was good with Gibbs at 6. That was what he was going to do.
That
Cardinals bailed us out in a sense.
That would have been really throwing positional value out of the window.
I think we can all start to piece it together. Albert Breer had a really good article today. He talked about inside knowledge that he had been hearing from Arizona and Lions, how it went down, was that Witherspoon and Anderson were our two guys that we would have taken ahead of Gibbs. And Devin Witherspoon going 5 kind of shocked everyone as well. Because again, kind of crazy to think about that no one mocked him to the Seahawks because I guess they haven't drafted a cornerback in the first round in a decade. So I guess that makes sense. But then he went, and then I think we were just like, well, Gibbs is next. We're just going to take him here. But luckily, they were able to get out of that and move 6 stocks back. The trade in itself was awesome. I thought it was a great trade. I was telling you guys on our mock draft, I wanted to bail out of there if Witherspoon even if Witherspoon was there, I probably would have bailed out. I just didn't think we needed a CB that high.
It is clear, though, we would have taken him, though.
Yeah. The leaks.
I mean, that's what we all thought leading up.
Yeah, and then their plan was then to trade back up to get Gibbs later in the first. So your first round would have been Witherspoon and Gibbs, and then they would have prayed they could get Campbell later. So that's kind of the different scenarios. I'm thinking, Evan, I know your issues with it. What's your big picture mindset of why you like the players you told us, but with how the order went or just kind of how it shaped out?
I think it's because I fell in love with other players, other positions of needs, I guess, in our eyes. Obviously, Brad and Dan don't think some positions are needs according to what media or analysts say on TV or whatnot. Now with drafting a running back at 12, you assume that he gets to a second contract now. He has a 5th-year option, but if you're investing that much capital into a running back who is – now he could start running back, but he's not going to be the bell cow. He's not getting every handoff. He's not playing every 3 downs. Dave Montgomery, who you invested a good chunk of money in as a running back, a 3-year contract, about $6 a year. So now Jahmyr Gibbs is, I wouldn't say part-time, but, splitting carries in the backfield. I think you said it a little bit, Grant, in our group chat that we drafted 2 positions that aren't really valued anymore in the NFL as a whole. You see players or running backs get a big contract and then they phase out because running back, their average lifespan is 3 years in the NFL. My whole thing is it's two positions that, yeah, they're impact positions, but I like the other players on the board, and I think the team could have used a couple other positions.
Who?
I mean, I would have stayed at 6 and drafted Jalen Carter.
Which we did in our mock.
I think Nolan Smith is more talented than Jack Campbell. Obviously, we went middle linebacker instead of outside linebacker. Now there's rumors out there that Jack Campbell is going to do some pass rushing, edge rushing, stand-up edge rusher in some formations. But he only rushed the quarterback 14% of his snaps at Iowa, and he played just about every single snap at Iowa. So tape's not really there to prove it. I think the defense needed more speed collectively, and Jack Campbell isn't blowing away with speed. He's a 4.65 guy. He's more of an in-between the tackles, and I don't really think his pass coverage fits our pass coverage scheme. So it's here and there. I like Jack Campbell, and like you said, I like both of the prospects. Is just that high up on the board. I'm looking at interior offensive linemen. I'm looking at edge rushers and impact players that the NFL prioritizes now. Defensive backs.
Yeah. I'm also surprised too, based on what we did in free agency, that these are the two guys we landed, because I think I cut the clip. I haven't posted it yet, but we talked about Jack Campbell because I said he was one of my guys. So I'm obviously happy we got him, but we were like, oh, linebacker's kind of a future need now because we gave a decent chunk of money to Anzalone, which we all on this show didn't love, but we did it. So it's like, all right, he's our middle linebacker. And then you invest in that. And then same with not paying running backs. We got rid of Jamal, but then paid David, and we had Swift that we thought we'd just ride out that last year for this year. And then they're like, oh no, we're actually going to draft this kid we're in love with at 12. That was kind of crazy. The point where I gave it a B+ is because, like Evan said, I wanted us to address the edge and defensive line situation. I'm curious to see how this shapes out because obviously the regime has a lot of faith in these guys that are coming back from injuries. Pascal, Aquara, could we resign Kaminsky, Anzarecki? They have faith in those guys. I'm not saying I'm there yet. I need to see it with my eyes because the guys I wrote down, because I think, Alex, it's a good question because you see a lot of people be like, oh, take that position. Well, who? Like you said, who are you taking? I need a name. You can't just be take an edge guy just because he's an edge guy. I didn't love Miles Murphy. So
I would taking Tyree Wilson at 6.
Yeah, he was there. I had for 12, because I like the trade. So at 12, you have Lucas Van Ness on the board, who went a pick after. You had Cansey at 19, who went after Campbell, and you had Nolan Smith at 30. Those are 3 guys I'm going to have my eye on because I thought they could help the Lions in that defensive line edge room. But then here's my other theory, because I was trying to think of both sides, trying to think how our regime's thinking. My theory is that, one, they have okay faith in the current edge and D-line depth. And if those guys do pan out how they think, if Pascal's looks like a second-round pick, we do have solid guys, James Houston as well. I think they believe they made the secondary so good in the offseason that it's going to elevate the edge and D-line group. That's my working theory, is that they think they made our secondary so good that it's going to buy those guys an extra second and a half to get to the quarterback, and it's going to elevate all of them, which I can accept in theory. We'll see how it plays out. But that's the biggest reason for me thinking that we didn't address edge or D-line that much. Because on paper, I think we have a top 5 secondary in the NFL, and I don't think it's up for debate. I think we're that good.
Doof.
Without having seen any of them play together, I think they're top 5 on paper going into the year, especially adding Brian Branch. I think they're just a bunch of dudes.
Depending on the health of mostly, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to declare them top 5, but if you want to, I don't have a problem with it.
I like it. Your thoughts on edge DL situation, Alex? I feel like that's...
Yeah, for me, it was always just not a no on Jalen Carter. So I agree. I wanted to trade out of 6. I wouldn't have taken Carter. So I didn't have any problem with that. I can see the disappointment of not drafting Tyree Wilson. People liked him a lot, mocked as high as 2. But at the same time, I'm not saying you should blindly follow Brad and Dan and just accept whatever they do. But at the same time, they haven't really done anything in the draft, at least, that I'm like, oh yeah, every pick we make is probably a bad one. So I'm just not going to question it too much until I see it. I like the guys we got, though. I mean, if you told the fan base 4 months ago, before all this process started, that we got the best linebacker in the draft, I don't think people would have been upset.
So you're in on him over Drew Sanders now?
Well, I wanted us to draft both. Just have both. But I didn't know that much about
draft. I remember that mock draft we did.
I didn't know as much about Jack Campbell as I did about Drew Sanders. But yeah, no, I'm all in on him now. Big football guy. Just reminds me of Dan Campbell, linebacker version. So yeah, I think they'll both fit. My only head scratcher in the draft was trading a gajillion picks to go up in the 3rd round and take a guy I've never heard of. But
yeah,
that's the only reason I wouldn't give it an A- or an A, because I don't know what that pick was.
Yeah, I'll get that. I have in my notes to go like just player by player quickly. Have any thoughts on them? But still, big picture. Another theory I had coming out of this draft is I feel like we are building a team similar to the 49ers. Stop me if you think that's completely wrong, but I just like the connection of having these weapons around our QB, because it kind of dawned on me watching how other teams were drafting that we have to draft a little differently. Like we have to continue to prioritize finding weapons because our quarterback is not a Mahomes, an Allen, a Burrow. Like we don't have a guy of that caliber. So you have to prioritize drafting weapons almost every year to make sure he still can perform at a high level. Whereas those other teams can just like stock up on secondary and defense players and then go like trade Tyreek Hill and just sign Juju Smith-Schuster and go win a Super Bowl. Like we can't do that. We would not be good. We have to like give Goff like guys that are unreal in space that he can dump down to and let them go work, which has made me accept the draft more once I thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think you look at the Niners and everyone thinks they're a good organization and they spent so much on Christian McCaffrey when, again, we're told RBs don't matter, but they gave up a lot. And obviously you're not going to sit here and be like Gibbs is going to be him, but that's his comp. If you're taking a guy at 12 in today's NFL, is the Kamaras, the McCaffreys, like you need that level of production if you're going to invest that highly in a guy.
Spoilers.
Dan Campbell, favorite to win Coach of the Year on odds books. I was looking at odds after the draft, so that's interesting if you like that. And then 2 guys in the 2nd round that we are, again, talking about reasons it's a B+, is I really wanted BJ Ojolari or Keanu Benton, and that'd be kind of why if we didn't get Laporta, and let's say we got Evans guy Tucker Kraft later in the draft, I would have been totally okay with that. Like I wanted that. I thought that 34th pick was a chance to get Ojolari or Keanu Benton and really help the defensive line. But what we've learned, what they've told us, they're cool with our offensive line or defensive line depth right now, at least in theory, because they passed up on a lot of guys that I'm assuming they liked at least a little bit. Obviously, we don't know their big board, but I'm assuming they liked it at least a little bit. So those are some names why it was a B+. Let's get into Gibbs for a second here. He was consensus 29 on big boards. We'll just get into Ben's question, I think, because he asked us about a good question about Gibbs. And
Gibbs isn't going to be the starting running back out of training camp. It's going to be the...
Is that a question?
No, this is my answer. It's going to be Mohamed Ibrahim.
That would be awesome. That'd be a good problem to have.
Bye, Craig Reynolds.
Good riddance.
Okay. That's mean.
Hey guys, Ben here. Just want to say my immediate reaction was a bit harsh for the Lions draft, but I can at least say I now see the vision of the picks we made. However, I still don't like them. We were the 29th ranked rush defense last year, arguably what kept us out of the playoffs, like the Panthers game, for example. So with that said, was the Gibbs pick too aggressive for what we actually need? Do we have that much faith in Kaminsky, Buggs, and Pascal to return and improve that? Also, what will Gibbs need to do this season to validate this pick? Thanks, guys.
It was tough to hear, but
Tough to hear. The gist was
I got the gist. I just didn't hear his final question. What does he need to do?
yeah.
What? I can barely hear it.
What does Gibbs
What
need to
does
do to
Gibbs
make the
need to
pick?
do? I thought you said, what do we
justified?
need to do? What does Gibbs need to do to justify it? Well, he's got to produce. He's got to produce well over DeAndre Swift's totals over the last 2 years. I know Swift has been injured, but he's got to be a clearly better than what Swift brought to the table. And I thought Swift had some very talented moments over the last couple of years. Like the Commanders game last year, fall down, get back up, score. Like, he's got to do that almost at a consistent basis. And so, I mean, it's so hard to predict because he's sharing carries. Like, Dave Montgomery,
He's going to touch the ball in more ways than just running the ball.
I understand that, but I still don't think he's just going to line up in the slot as much as you think he will. I don't think he will that much.
I didn't. What's that much?
For it to be noticeable.
He's got to have 1,500 yards from scrimmage, and he's got to be the second leading receiver on our team with 80 catches in year one. That's what I expect out the gate. You go look at Alvin Kamara; he caught 80 balls his first 4 years of his career, and he split.
But that was a dinky dunk Drew Brees offense.
We have a dink
That's
and
what it's
dunk
going to
Jared
be.
Goff.
You got a ding and dunk. He's going to line up. He's going to run like a 5-yard Texas route, and he's going to get 15 yards. And you're going to be like, "Let's
But
go."
Grant,
First time,
who'd the Saints have playing
Michael
wide
Thomas.
out?
Michael Thomas.
An injured Michael Thomas?
They were more
Or is
past. They were more
full
past.
guy?
No, it was completely healthy. That was prime.
That was when they were contending with the Rams.
Did they throw 50 times a game?
They average at least 40.
He's going. He has to have like 80 receptions. He will be second on our team in receptions. It'll be him. It'll be Amon-Ra will be one. It'll be Jahmyr Gibbs. It'll be Laporta, and it'll be Jahmyr because Jahmyr's sitting out 6 games, and that will be your 4 leading reception guys on your team going into next season. That's what I
I'll give him
based on where we
80.
I
Is
don't
a
think
lot,
JMO's
dude.
going to finish 4th, but that is a lot of catches.
It's got to be 80. That's what you just took the 12th player.
Hey, I'll support this.
You were gonna
I mean,
take
I'll
it
hold
6.
you to that, Sanders, because I do not like the pick.
5 catches a game.
Holy shit!
Yes, easy.
I don't think our offense can. I don't think our offense can withstand that.
He's going to need to touch the ball.
I don't think
He's
our
gonna need to
offense
touch the
needs to
ball.
throw the ball that much.
He's going to be touching the ball over 15 to 20 times a game, and 5 of those need to be catches.
I guess
I'll
it's
give him
overrated.
60 to 65 catches would be a satisfying amount because that's like 2.5 catches per
Like
game.
Kamara's first year, he ran the ball 120 times for 728 yards. He caught the ball 81 times for 826 yards for 1,554 scrimmage yards in 16 games.
Right.
So you just need him to
17 games.
exactly
Right. Do you
replicate
not
what
think
Kamara
about
did.
what? I mean,
least
he had a Hall of
17
Fame
games.
quarterback throwing to him.
Yeah.
Sean Payton
But
calling
like
plays.
how he was, I think Ben Johnson can go toe to toe with anybody calling plays in the league. Maybe not Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a dog.
Yeah, no, not Andy's level.
And like
yet.
how this guy's going to be like I think 75% of these catches are going to be less than 10 yards downfield. So you're not asking Goff to like drop balls in a bucket. It's just get the ball in his hands 3 yards around the line of scrimmage and let him make people miss. That's what you have. Like you have to have that. It's like Brad Holmes put it on the table and it's time to go. Like you're trying to win a playoff game. You're trying to win playoff games, multiple, because that's why you drafted this guy now to play tomorrow. And like I got to do a better job of not overreacting when people play the starter semantics. Is like he may not be on the field for the first play, but this kid better play 80% of the snaps. Like I don't necessarily need him lined up in the backfield, but he needs to be on the field like 70%.
Well, he won't get the
time.
first handoff every game because Jamal Williams did that last year. So,
And that's okay. I
don't need him to be the starter.
I need him to play starter level snaps, and he needs to be out there a lot.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue.
That's what I came up with. He doesn't need to win Offensive Rookie of the Year because Kamara did, but there's a lot of.
I sure think he
this
would
year.
if he was at that level.
Well,
in
they
the
probably
NFC.
get like NFC.
I mean, that's how it works. NFC,
Yeah,
AFC.
well, Young's in our conference, so if Young does well,
Yeah,
he will win
but-
because it's a QB award. They try to give it to
maybe.
those guys.
I guess his
if
team's
they're
okay.
good. He's 6th right now in offense.
I mean, McCaffrey had
plus 900 if you like that kind of thing.
1,100 all-purpose yards, 80 receptions, and 2 touchdowns, and 5 receiving touchdowns his rookie year.
Who did that?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, so between 1,100 and 1,500 is kind of what I need to see.
But 80
Especially-
catches on the dot.
Yes, we need 80 catches out of this cat. He needs to be our second lean receiver to the Lions.
I think comparing to McCaffrey and Kamara's rookie year is a good baseline of what we'd hope for.
12. You passed on Jalen Carter to go get this kid.
Well, Jalen
This
Carter
is
has problems.
So does Jahmyr Gibbs.
This is a side.
Well, not all.
No, actually, he did. He quit
No.
on his team to transfer to Alabama. What a loser.
Oh,
No,
sorry. Just like
Evan, I will.
a lot
all
of
right,
these
can we-
guys.
I'm gonna. I had
Evan, we know
you're
I'm
not.
going. Yeah,
You
I'm
hope
going
you better
to
be.
war for. I will go to war for Jahmyr. I did some diving because they were asking him questions about the press conference. One theme we all know with the Lions is they draft high character guys. The high character nugget on Jahmyr is he came from a broken family and he was raised by a single grandmother and reported to be like the most humble, hardworking kid in the state that he lived in. So all in on this kid.
And
So-
didn't he transfer out of Georgia Tech after their coach got fired and they were like one of the worst teams in the country?
I don't know. I don't blame him for transferring.
I don't
Go
either.
do your thing. But I think he's gonna be a dog. So 80. His feet move incredibly fast. When you watch his little feet move around, it looks like Tyreek Hill. I picked up on that. His Georgia Tech film, I encourage people to watch because it's equally as awesome. He looks bigger there. I personally want him to be good to prove all the haters wrong that are gonna fan base is just gonna be like, oh, I picked him at 12.
If he has a
talk about
bad
the
game
inspiring
one,
story.
it's going to be a fan base in flames.
What people will use against him is he's walking into the league as the 5th highest paid running back by guaranteed money at signing. So he is top 5 running back in the
But he
NFL.
batted
Never
for
mind, he
like
hit
9
receptions
catches
because
and 1,500 yards.
4th highest is Bajan. Makes sense. He was picked 6 picks ahead, but those two are now both top 5 running backs in the entire league based on money given
Paid money to
out
running
these
backs?
guys. So we need to use him like
I mean,
a
that
wideout.
shit just,
We need to
that
use
just
him all over
proves
the
fact
field.
that you don't need paid running backs. He's not getting a second contract from the Lions. If Brad
it's
Holmes
important
and
to
Dan
know
Campbell are
how
still
much
there, they're going to rinse
Dan
and
and
repeat
Ben
and do the
want to run
same
the ball.
thing in 4 years from now.
I think you could. I think he could. I think if you could. Well, we don't know about JMO. If JMO
JMO's done.
was like good,
It's over.
I
He's
would
not going to
say-
be good. I think we need to stop comparing everybody. Be like, oh, but he's the next JMO. No, we don't know what JMO is because he barely plays.
Well, Evan, when they both wear 1 at Alabama,
Yeah, it's just hard not to like
it's
see the
hard.
comparisons in your head. They look
I don't
like the
care
same
what
player,
JMO
just
did
playing
in
different
Alabama
position.
anymore.
Evan,
Is
it's
it
not like
the-
he's 6 years in the league and hasn't done anything yet. He's in year 2.
And we have to wait till
Is the
November
rule
for him
kind
to
of like
play.
you could pay?
Listen,
Halloween.
no one's
Congrats.
denying.
Dress up as a
he's
clown
off to a
because
bad
that's what we'll
start.
all be doing when he doesn't do anything.
Do you think
You
he's
can
just going to
pay-
be
Yeah.
bad now?
I think he's off his rocker now.
If it makes you feel better, Brad. Someone asked him about it during draft weekend, and Brad said he's taking accountability and he's doing the right things.
Am I going to Vegas
Again, I
2
don't know
days
if he's saying
after?
that. Look,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
didn't ask him
Grant-
about that specifically, but Brad
had to say that.
But no, because Brad in the past has said he needs to work on his end, and he said he's doing the right things now, and we have faith in him. It made me feel
Not a JMO topic.
no, but I would say in terms of that second contract, Evan, is that I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I feel like NFL teams, you can pay like at least two premier skill guys. And if he proves it and he's more of like a Swiss Army knife wide receiver, 80 catches, running back,
CMC, Kamara type, he will get a second one.
it might be too much and we might regret it in his next 5 years because if you rely on that speed, it's going to start going downhill.
But if he's like
But
the Kamara Christian McCaffrey type,
could
you
get
trade
it.
him and you get the bag like Christian McCaffrey.
Correct. And if we win a Super Bowl in that 5-year stretch, who
Sure,
cares?
because
It's worth it.
you should pay Amon or
100%.
whatever he asks because he should
100%.
retire as a Lion.
Yes. Because he could become like a Julian Edelman in his old age.
Should be the same thought process, guys.
Different
players.
position, Alex.
You just
Alex,
like-
different position.
Him.
No, because like look at like Kamara
Kamara's not playing
the
this
last
year.
2 years. hasn't been as good.
What does that have to do with
He
anything?
kicked somebody, and he's getting
Because that
suspended.
type of money you give. Well,
Yeah,
not that. I'm talking
either
about,
way, but
I'm
that
talking
doesn't. That's not really
talking about
relevant.
production on the field. It could be because Breeze left, but like in the
Goff leaves, and then his production
that
goes down.
position,
Ben Johnson
No,
leaves, and now we have a new offense in next year.
potentially. Well, that's why we're grooming Tanner Ingstring.
Who?
Remember.
Tanner McGee, he just got
He's a
drafted.
quality.
He's our. No.
That's
no.
McKee.
He's a guy in our.
No G.
He's a guy in our staff. There's a guy in our staff.
Give me his name.
Be,
Yes.
next
It's
to
a-
Ben Johnson.
It's a very
Give me his
strange last
name.
name. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Tanner
I don't
Engstrom.
like him already. Ben Johnson's such a cooler name.
Yeah, but no, he's going to be the next guy. Anyways, reaction to this pick, we got classic Brad Holmes smacking the
That's
table.
so overrated.
Elbow
Now I'm
Dan
over
Campbell
it.
in the gut.
Come
I
up
like
with a
it.
new
Evan
celebration.
hates the
He
Lions.
whiffed on Rod Wood and almost smacked him in the face. That was hilarious. That was
Tanner
just classic
Ingstrad?
Rod going for a high five.
Oh my god.
Yes, he'll be the next OC of the
I think he
Lions.
works with. I think he
Evan,
works
is
with
it
Alex.
fun to be this
I think he
negative?
works with Alex.
I'm doing a
I don't even know
I'm-
if I should take that as a negative or a positive.
negative for sure. I'm doing a fun. Evan, you might
Grant,
like this
he
because
worked
of
in the
what you said about
XFL.
JMO. I'm doing.
Do you like
With us
being
now.
negative? Is it fun for you?
You know, positive Alex. He worked at University of Michigan.
Is that a,
Positive.
I can't
University
tell
of
when
San
you're being sarcastic
Diego.
now. Okay, move on
He's
from
next
that,
up, yeah.
Evan.
Okay, real quick. I have a fun game for
I
each
have a fun
guy.
game
It's not a
first.
game, just suggestion.
One real quick game, Alex. Trivia.
Okay.
You know where
let's go.
Grossmont College is, Alex? No, that's
Illinois.
where Ingstrad played. From 2000 to 2002.
Is that? Am I supposed to ding his resume for
you
that?
you should know where Grossmont College is.
We got the
I
draft
said
led us
Illinois.
down to a rabbit hole that Evan's poo-pooing our next OC.
Evan just wants the Lions to
don't,
be
I
bad.
just-
Like he
You
wants
just
all
put
our teams to
someone
be bad.
With Ben Johnson for 2 years.
Community college in El
That's my favorite.
Cajon, California. FYI. There you go. Shout out that college.
I love that.
Okay, Grant, let's play your
California
game.
perfect.
Let's play your game.
My game is we all love numbers. Everyone loves jerseys here. So I am going to provide my suggestions to our players because they have now released
Can
some
you hold
numbers
them
here,
up?
which I've
Like,
been waiting
I need
for.
a graphic.
My
I'm a visual learner.
I can do
Thank
the
you.
numbers with my fingers. My suggestion for Jahmyr Gibbs is to wear number 1. Should be Jahmyr
He's going
Gibbs.
to take it from
That's the
JMO.
number.
JMO, as soon as Jeff Okuda. Yeah,
Yes.
actually, you know what? Jahmyr
Sorry,
Gibbs
JMO.
gets it
You
because
got
you got
suspended.
suspended. Have fun with number. Ooh.
Yes.
Cool with it. If he doesn't
Thank
get
you.
1, 2.
Can't be 2.
Who's
we have
2?
2. It's CD Deuce.
Deuce.
You don't know who CD Deuce is, our
Not a
biggest free
Lions
agent
fan.
signing?
No, I'm a
Oh,
Lions
CJG.
fan. I don't
Okay.
need that CD,
Oh my
CJ
God.
Deuce was.
Okay.
I didn't know
Okay.
people called him CD Deuce.
Oh my God.
Number
like
1.
CJ
Gibbs can have
DJ
number
better.
1. Screw JMO.
All right. He gets number 1. Okay. Second pick in the draft, Jack Campbell, consensus 42 on big board. So probably a bigger reach than Gibbs. He was my guy going in the draft. More surprising than the Gibbs pick. I'm just going to say it now. My projection for the roster, Campbell and Anzalone are your day 1 starters, and Rodriguez gets his bump down to like 30% of snaps a game. I don't see how they take Anzalone off the field to start.
1000% agree.
I think a lot of fans are going to think Rodriguez is going to stay because we love him, but I think he becomes a third man for now. Eventually, Anzalone's gone in 2 years, and then it's Campbell and Rodriguez. But you have to remember, Rodriguez was a 6th-round pick. He wasn't supposed to start last year. Our run defense, as Ben said in his call, was 29th in the NFL still. And this will answer Ben's point. He was talking about how should we have gone more D-line to help that stat. I think Jack Campbell is going to knock down that stat significantly through his
Agreed.
I don't know how much linebacker can help.
Agreed.
He gets the defensive line pushed into his lap, or the second level gets to him.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, that won't happen. It never
It'd only be cool if we had like
Nope.
the best defensive line prospect the last like 5 years. You know, waiting for us at number 6. That would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Oh,
Unfortunately, this is kind of messed up. I don't care. I guess like selfishly in the NFC, I'm not gonna root against Jalen Carter, but
I am.
it made me feel better if he wasn't good because I wouldn't feel as
Grant,
bad.
we
enough to
pass
ask
on
him,
it's
but
the
I will
Lions
say
thing.
this.
We pass on a player, they're going to be good.
Yep, because Evan, you still have that mindset. You'll never get over it.
I'll never get over it.
But
You just want the same old lines.
I never said
forever.
that.
You just no, but everything you say points directly to that.
I
Yes,
think Jalen
that's
Carter's going to be
tough.
good. I don't think he had one mistake in his life.
I do think he'll be good because he went to a team perfect where he can be groomed.
I think he'll be good because the situation, and I think a realization I had is it sounds dumb when you say it, but I think teams like the Lions and Bears, you saw they traded out of that pick to not get him. I think we have to draft differently than the Eagles because they're so established and they're already in the Super Bowl and they already have a bunch of Georgia players that like it made sense though, where like Jalen Carter could come into this younger team locker room and mess everything up. Whereas the Eagles know you're bringing them in with Jordan Davis. Like if we had drafted Jordan Davis last year, go draft Jalen Carter, get Nolan Smith, like do the same thing. I think it just kind of worked in that situation. I'm not happy about it because I think the league just gifted the Eagles two awesome players. But that's the difference I think between
the Eagles are going to get young like literally next year. Because all their old guys are on 1-year contracts. They're all going to retire.
Yeah. But the same with the Bears. I mean, I guess you can just lump them in with us. But like, think about it. They traded out of the number 1 pick, who was projected to be Jalen Carter, and they could have had it at 9, and they got out of it just for a 4th round pick. That
Bears
nothing.
Their roster is completely different from ours.
We're
competing for an NFC championship game against the
Carter's
Eagles.
Culture. We got to win a playoff game before we get to this point.
But if Jalen Carter is as good
as
Jahmyr
Gibbs is as good as you think, Alex, then we should be able to make the playoffs.
Agreed. We should make the playoffs, but we haven't done that yet. We're not in the
That's
position.
the same old Lions mindset, Alex. You got to be looking forward.
No, I don't think so.
With Jalen Carter, I think no matter where you're at, you had to take him based on talent. If you're saying rebuilding or not, like he was supposed to be that good. I think it all came down to some teams really just did not like this kid, like really, really did not. And you saw him go all the way to 10.
I think it's very clear.
The Eagles were
I would have survived with not liking the kid because I only need him for 4 years because I think the Lions are in a 4-year window to win the Super Bowl. I would have put up with his bull crap for 4 years.
Maybe they thought that the bull crap, like he
I would have
wouldn't
gone out
be able to get on the field type of deal.
Veteran defensive lineman and said, your number 1 job is to follow this kid around at practice every single day and groom him.
We'll find out.
I think the thing I'm grasping is like our GM and coaches literally do not care. Like if they think someone's close in talent, they're going to take the kid that is they perceive to be a better human being like every time. Which
I get that now. But I would have done it differently because I think he would have dramatically helped. He would have made a bigger impact that you would have seen play by play when he's out on the field than Jack Campbell does.
We'll find out.
I'm excited to find out because everyone's be thinking about. We're being watching Jalen Carter box scores closely just to see.
I hope we play the Eagles.
The Eagles didn't use Jordan.
He got injured. He broke his ankle.
So that pick did not help.
Yeah.
Did he actually? That's tough. Evan, like you hinted at, I'm excited to see how we use Campbell because Brad Holmes said in his press conference that they don't view him as just
think he's a stand-up edge rusher. I really don't. I don't think he's
going to play that like more than a couple snaps a game.
I don't either.
I think a couple snaps a game is a couple snaps too many.
I mean, he just got drafted. I'm sure they don't have a full.
They should have a complete plan for if you're drafting somebody at 18, what you're going to do with a kid.
I'm sure they have a plan that we are not privy to.
I think they plan to blitz him a lot through A-gaps and whatnot, and maybe that's like what we're not thinking because they blitzed Anzalone a lot.
Anzalone
and I don't
can't do anything else.
Doing it. I think this guy's big enough to do it and blow up guards and centers because he's really strong. And I think he gives them the flexibility on like 3rd down where like your only linebacker on the field is Jack Campbell. And then you have CJ, GJ and Brian Branch.
Tracy Walker.
Like, on the other responsibilities or Trace. Yes. Who's basically a linebacker. Like, I think Jack's just going to be the guy. If he's only one linebacker technically on the field, it's just going to be him because I think they think that highly of him, which is exciting because we have so much flexibility on the back end.
Agree.
Things about him as a character guy. Or a suit on his first day of work.
No,
absolutely
no jacket.
love that. No, he did. He just didn't have it in every picture. He had a jacket in his hand.
No,
Full suit.
he did look great. Looked like a football guy.
He said Mr. Holmes when talking about Brad Holmes. Love that. Just respectful man. And he did his draft night call out of a bathroom with a shower in the background. So I think this guy is a dog. He said he was outside just hanging out with his friends. He hates social media. I love Jack Campbell.
Didn't take an NIL deal either.
Didn't take an NIL deal. I want to be in his inner circle.
What are you going to get? Corn? You're going to get the gas station Casey's?
There's NIL deals for Iowa.
Casey's Pizza. I also read that Lucas Van Ness on his top 30 visit with the Lions talked more about how awesome Jack Campbell is than himself, which I think also sold Jack Campbell. Like his teammates were just like, Jack Campbell's the best human being ever. I'm all in on this kid. I think he's going to be like a 15-year Hall of Famer, Brian Urlacher.
Yeah, no, I agree 1,000%.
Right now, his 8th to win Defensive Rookie of the Year at plus 1,800 odds, if you're interested in that. And the number suggestion is number 40. That's what Jack Campbell should wear.
I like the number he has.
We're out. Yeah.
31.
Yeah, he can be any number now.
I think that's taken. I looked at the Lions roster when I did these, and I looked at our retired numbers, which number 7 was retired, which is what I wanted Jahmyr Gibbs to be. So I think that looks sick. So I gave him 1.
Who's wearing 30? No one? Jack Campbell in 30 would be good for me.
I like 40. I like a good old 4 on him.
I like 30.
Okay. I can respect that.
Thanks.
I like his college number. I like the weird number.
I just want
I
him
want
to
him
tackle.
to have 100 tackles.
I think he's going to be a great football player.
Tackles this year.
Kirk Ferentz would have started him at 5 positions if he was allowed to.
Every linebacker position.
We just need 11 Jack Campbells.
Thanks, Kurt. You should have started mine offense because you can't do anything with your son as the offensive coordinator.
Okay, another Kirk Ferentz guy. The face of the Iowa.
Yeah, the only offense.
Second round, 34. Sam Laporta, he was consensus 59. I'll go out and say it. I'm going to compare this kid to Michael Mayer forever because I was a Mayer guy going into the draft. I've accepted why we didn't take Mayer, but I think they were both great character guys, and I think we just had a preference for this kid with how fast he is.
Yeah, I think they felt he was a better fit.
Well, don't they feel like that everyone's a better fit when they draft him, Alex?
Well, yeah, Evan. I mean, yes, I think it's fair
wise
to compare him to Michael Mayer because of how it went.
Or the pick right after us.
Evan's Jalen Carter thing is the same as Grant's Michael Mayer thing. They both love the guy, and then we didn't take the guy when we could have. So,
yep.
It'll be interesting to compare to.
I was at a graduation party once where Michael Mayer was at, and so I'll always have that connection to him.
Did you kiss?
No, but he looks just like Liam Hemsworth, and he was absolutely jocked. It was like a junior.
So you have a man crush on Michael Mayer and Jack Campbell.
Yes.
Well, Alex, we passed actually on the hottest dude in the NFL. Christian Gonzalez.
Really?
He looks like Killian Hayes.
Well, hopefully he's a better career than Killian.
He's 21 years old, guys. Come on.
Laporta
has a cool highlight tape when he goes 40 yards on one play with 8 broken tackles.
Have you seen the clips? I'm crazy. I'm surprised I will let him do this just because they have no creativity. But they would just line him up at X and he'd run slants against cornerbacks and he'd get first downs every time.
Well, there are tape of him out there in the bowl game of him being a Wildcat quarterback because they were on their fourth quarterback and they have 0 offense.
Who's your player comp? Ben hates player comp, so I think we should throw a player comp in here.
Okay, I would say a worse blocker than Kittle.
You're jumping straight to the Hall of Fame tight ends. This is not good.
That's what Ben hates about player comps.
Well, because I'm just looking at RAS scores, their athletic score, and he was smack dab in between Kittle and Hawk. So he was quicker than Hawk, but not as big and mean blocking as Kittle. So I think that's what you should hope to expect.
Well, better blocking TJ Hawkinson. That's not going to hurdle people and get injured.
A faster Hawkinson.
Okay.
I'm going to go faster, healthier Noah Fant.
Because this kid's small for a tight end. He's not big.
He's not tiny.
What's his size?
He's small.
That's why you need to draft Chuck or Kraft. Packers won the draft.
No, I think Laporta is going to be sick, and I also
Sam
think
Laporta is
that,
6'4", 250. He's not small.
I think that's not bad.
That's
I think
big.
That this, but on his RAS score, his size is in the red for tight end. So compared to his position, he is not big. I'm just telling you that. I know that's a big human being, but in the terms of NFL, where like everyone's big and Darnell Washington is in.
George Kittle is 6'4", 250. They are the exact same size.
Go look at his RAS score and then tell me I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, they're the exact same size. Maybe their size is in different spots,
which I think,
but they're the same height and same weight.
I think you're getting his Iowa height and weight. I don't think you're getting his draft combine height and weight. Because college height and weights are out of control and need to be stopped. They round everything up. What I'm trying to say, my point is, we talked a lot. Alex is going to come in here with his height and weight. I can tell he's on the tip of his tongue.
6'3", 1/4, 250.
6'3",
245.
That's what's on the combine page.
NFL Draft Buzz. Bleacher Report.
Here's what I want to say. Here's the point I'm trying to make before we got into a height debate, is that we talked about needing to draft a wide receiver because DJ Chark left. We didn't really do that. We took a 7th round pick, but that's a flyer. This guy is going to be the big body receiving threat on our team, is my prediction. I think they looked at all their pieces and they said, we have a home run hitter in J-Mo, if he's back. We have Jahmyr Gibbs, we have Amon-Ra, and now we have Laporta, who's going to be our big human being target. And I think that was their plan.
Agree.
I'm interested to see where they line him up because I think he's more of a spread out tight end instead of an inline tight end. Obviously, he's going to be able to do both, but I think Brock Wright is still very much in the mix. James Mitchell will be in the mix, but I think Brock Wright's going to be your like lead blocker tight end, and this guy, they're going to coach him up to hopefully one day be there and get bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I think Laporta is a day one starter.
Number suggestion? Yeah. No, yeah, he should be our starting tight end, and he should be the third leading receiver on our team. Number suggestion, 88. Perfect tight end
number. I like 80.
Yeah.
What number do I like? Samuel Laporta. Laporta is 83.
James Mitchell's 83.
I'm not that kid anymore.
Stanley Berryhill is 83.
Oh, close.
But he's suspended too, so he doesn't get games anymore.
Who's 85?
That is retired.
By who?
I don't want him to wear Hawks numbers, so let's go 87.
Hawk was 88.
Hawk was number 88.
I don't know. I just believed that. I haven't said it.
I didn't know. I thought Hawk was 87. Chuck Hughes was number 85.
Well, whatever Hawk was, I want one number above that or below that.
You want one number above Alex because he's
I don't know what
better.
Hawk was. I really do not remember. Let's talk about the nation's consensus pick. That was our favorite, Brian Branch.
Good pick, Brad. Good pick.
Averaged out. Good pick. He was averaged out at 24 overall on big boards. My main point I said about this guy is I love that he stayed at the draft for day 2. That's a good character guy. Again, I think we're bringing winners into our organization. These are not stat things. I just love that he stayed. That was huge. I respect him a lot for that. Did not cower like a wimp like some people, Will Levis, and go home. Yep, he stayed and got his moment.
Yeah, dog. We brought in a dog.
I think he is a dog. My only question is I'm going to be sad when he doesn't play more because of how stacked our room is. I think
honestly, Grant, I think now that you have like depth in your secondary, I think it's survival of the fittest. I think if you're playing well, you can get on the field and there's no oh my bads anymore. There's no oh you missed it play anymore because the next guy's coming in and they're going to do the job.
So you think he might? You think we might see some Branch?
I
think he'll play.
We're going to go to
I don't think he starts.
I don't think we're getting away from like the 3 linebacker look like completely. Like Tracy Walker's going to be out there.
We're just going 2.
Yeah, we only need
Tracy Walker and
the field really with Jack Campbell. He covers the field. Like
Gardner Johnson should be out there. Kirby should be out there.
You just want to run a 3-man front. 2 linebackers.
4-2-5. 4-2-5. 4-2-5.
Does he get in that situation? I don't think so.
And then 416.
We need
on
6.
packing.
Yeah, we need
416.
6. That's the only
He can
package.
get in over
Jack Campbell middle.
a corner.
I don't think so.
No, you have Tracy.
Tracy, Kirby,
She's one of the 2 guys.
CJ, GJ, Cam Sutton, and Mosley.
Kirby.
Doesn't Mosley come off
could
an
be like more
injury?
of a cover 2 guy, but when we're 416 blitz, Brian
Yeah.
Branch.
We just have so much
I mean, Brian Branch is CJ,
you have depth
GJ
now
younger.
at the secondary position. You got better.
And more
And plus, I like Branch because he can learn 1 year, and we signed half of our secondaries are just 1-year contracts.
Do I think Brian Branch is more accomplished than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who led the league in picks last year?
No, like when they entered the league.
Oh, well, that's irrelevant, Grant, because
Like this kid was a 3-year starter at Alabama for Nick Saban, and Nick Saban said he's one of the smartest kids he's ever coached. And they
Yeah,
compared.
he needs to start day 1, Grant.
I think this kid is going to be all time.
I just don't know how he starts.
Take Kirby's job.
Starting at the Swiss Army knife position at Alabama is impossible, as he did as a freshman.
So, goodbye,
Take Kirby's
Kirby.
job.
No, but goodbye, Will Harris, probably at the end of the day.
If Kirby
just
never had the
resigned,
interceptions as Aaron Rodgers,
I don't know.
he'd still
It's so
start.
crazy. You know what's wild about fans is our first reaction when we add someone is like, "Who's leaving?" It's like
I
don't know.
didn't
Figure
think
it
that.
out.
I just thought he would be like a 30-40% snap guy at best, and
No, he might be.
And then next year, if CJ GJ leaves, he's the guy.
He might be. That might be how it shakes out. Or they're just not going to rush Tracy back.
Tracy full.
Tracy's warming. He's like working out. Isn't he fine?
There's a big difference between like working out on the turf and like playing in a football game.
Been a
I know, but
year.
it was April. It's May.
He popped that Achilles. We'll see how he is. I don't know.
He still
But
has
they don't have to
4
rush him back.
months.
Yeah. It's May.
Evan, you'll love this. Brian Branch is an unreal
I do love this tape.
tackler.
Love
He
it.
had a 90 is percentages, 98% tackle percentage, so it's a missed tackle rate of 2.3%, which is almost unheard of.
Alex, he's getting on the field.
He does
if
not
he can tackle,
tackle.
you're getting on the field.
No, I know
No, you're playing
I
more
know
than
he's going
30
to
to
play.
40% snaps. If you're taking a 98% rate,
Listen, I think he's really,
no, you're
really
getting
good.
on the
I
field.
really am
He's getting on the
excited for
field.
him.
I would say he's playing 55 to
just
60%
gonna-
of the snaps.
It's gonna be. He's just going to stand next to Jack Campbell.
That's what Hunter said. Hunter said, you just mirror Jack Campbell because Jack Campbell will lead you to the place because he's so intelligent, but he'll be one step off because he's slow. That's when Branch comes in because he's just faster.
Dude, they said in their top 30 visit with or combine visit with Jack Campbell that by the end of it he was basically installing the Lions defense for them. Like he's
I
just
love
that
that.
smart.
He's smarter than Aaron Glenn.
Yep. Debatably. I also think he's going to wear the green dot like right away. I think.
Dude, I think Anzalone's got 1
year.
year.
We got
He sees
Jack
writing
Campbell.
on the wall.
They'll definitely let Anzalone have
They
the
just
green
feel
dot.
bad like he has to have it.
Maybe.
We're
Brian
4
Branch,
competitors only.
He's 11th to win Defensive Rookie of the Year plus 2,300.
How many people
odds
are allowed
if
to
you're
wear the
into
green
that
dot?
kind of thing.
Not going to
Defense?
play enough to win.
Just one guy.
One.
You can switch it. You can switch it throughout the game though. There's like different helmets. Number suggestion: Brian Branch. He wore 14 in college. Can't wear that. He's going to wear number 12 for the Honolulu Blue.
I don't love that.
I like 19 on. I like 19 on.
14.
19.
Ugh,
That's
19.
disgusting.
Hate that,
I like
too.
19.
How about 4?
19 is taken by
Who?
Trinity Benson. He cannot be that.
Yeah,
Number
he can,
4
he
is
can have
by
19.
Mosley.
Emmanuel
He
Mosley.
can have 19.
6.
That is also taken by Cameron Sutton.
Shit, all our secondary is single digits. It's kind of awesome.
Yes. So he's going to be 12. He's going to be right in there. 12 is
19's
perfect.
19
Yeah,
is perfect.
12 has to be the number. My high school basketball number.
He's
Trinity
cut.
Benson, Evan.
Trinity Benson
What, Trinity,
is
what
going
position
to
does
be
he
cut.
play, Alex?
Wide receiver from the Denver Broncos. We signed him.
Well,
And
he's an
then
ass,
was in off a
so
practice
he ain't
squad.
playing.
All right. Controversial pick here. Hendon Hooker, we took in the top of the 3rd round. He was consensus 33 on big board, so good value pick in the sense of where he was supposed to go. We have to remember he was the Heisman Trophy frontrunner.
Lost to Spencer Rattler.
They were losing in the game and he tore his ACL. We don't know if they would have came back, but it was a bad overall situation.
Evan
I do.
hates his
I do.
picks, so
I know. And I want to I'm not going to try to change his mind.
You can't.
No, there's no point.
The hard part is there are some guys I think that went after him that could have helped us immediately, and I do understand that. I just think the potential, though, Evan, if this pick goes right, you're looking at Jalen Hurts with the Eagles type of situation, where then like when Jared Goff moves on, we have a guy on a cheaper money, and we can really continue our window because this kid could work out.
It could.
Now the QB rate is low, anyways. It's always hit or miss.
Yes, especially outside the first round. People either go like first round or at the very end, unless there's exceptions. And this was an exception. This kid would have been a first round talent if he did not blow out his ACL and he wasn't 25. But for us, we don't need him right away. For people's timeline in their head, he tore his ACL a month before Jameson Williams did, like timeline wise in the season. So he should be back moving around. I don't know what it looks like for a QB. I feel like you're better because you don't have to run as much. Yeah. He should be back close to start of season, maybe like sit out the first couple weeks. But I think timeline wise, you're not losing that much time. I like him. I think like what made me happy is the only concerns with this kid were the ACL and the age, which I think age is kind of overblown because people play to like their 40 these days when you're a QB. Like when you think about Levis, he had character concerns, which is why he fell. Like people just thought he was kind of a weirdo. Bryce Young, really small. CJ Stroud was getting rumored about failing a smart test, reaction test. This guy was clean. Hendon Hooker's clean, supposed to be a good leader. He brought Tennessee football back from the grave. He just tore his ACL.
Yeah.
I will say, like Evan, to your point, people behind him, like I'm looking at Jalen Hyatt went after him, Tucker Kraft went after him. Diane Henley, my guy from
Tulane.
What am I call it? Tulane. Diane Henley from Washington State. So yeah, there was guys after him that could have helped us, but I think he's just sitting there. And it's like, take the shot.
I think it's a good situation.
I like how he throws the football.
And
I want to say this. I understand Tennessee is kind of like a video game offense, which is fair. And it's like sets the QB up for success is what I keep hearing people say. But does Ben Johnson's offense not just set up a QB for success? I think that's a perfect fit.
Bingo.
I think you could plug a lot of people in.
Ben something completely different.
I will love
not.
Ben Johnson's offense.
It's the offense completely. It doesn't fit his scheme. It doesn't fit Hendon Hooker.
But doesn't it? Don't you think it just?
I think there's a complete difference in the play styles what Hendon Hooker did last year to what the Lions' offense is.
Good thing he's got time to learn.
Yeah.
Well, good thing he'll never start.
I'm saying, like, I think putting a QB in position to succeed, I think Ben does as good of a job.
Yeah, but Ben does a good job of playing scheme. And I'm saying
Josh Heupel.
Play action pass. Now you don't have your eyes on the defense where Hendon Hooker was a one-trick pony and one read. You get the ball out. He never turned his back on play action passes.
So maybe we could just do more...
It was three-step drops. I mean, look at what Georgia did to Hendon Hooker. Pressed everybody, took away his primary read, and blitzed everybody else because he doesn't have time. It's a three-step drop. Their pass concepts weren't made for 5 seconds. It was made for 2 seconds to get the ball out. And if you disrupt that timing, then it's done for.
Yeah. Will you acknowledge this? If the pick works out, it'll be like the best pick the Lions have ever made.
What is it? What does worked out mean? Hendon Hooker's the first quarterback to win a playoff game.
Sure.
No,
Hendon Hooker turns into Dak Prescott.
I like to imagine like.
I would say that's a fair comp.
I mean, that's dramatic comp, Alex. Dramatic. So Jared Goff has a career-ending injury, and he steps in and hands the ball off to the NFL Rookie of the Year. Hands the ball off, not throws the ball to him. Hands the ball off to him behind the best offensive line in the NFL. And we're close.
Can you just stop trying to find reasons?
No, you said Dak Prescott was a fair
comparison. Can you just say what it takes for you to like him?
Dak Prescott was a fair comparison, and so I'm just comparing what Dak Prescott had.
So what does Hendon Hooker need to do for you to
get off the team?
He's a success.
What if he's Jacoby Brissett? I've seen
get off the team.
But you're not
like I said.
I don't want a quarterback
for you.
You have a 4-year window to succeed, and there's more news coming out
What if Jared gets hurt and makes Sudfeld
You
has to
tank. You
play?
move on. You get your quarterback.
No.
And the quarterback comes in under cap, right around $20 million, and now you restart with when you have a stacked roster. That's what you do when your quarterback gets injured.
Why not restart with a guy that's much cheaper, that was a first-round type of talent pre-ACL?
I will take a start. He's not a starter. He is sitting on your bench, not a starter that can't contribute to your 4-year window to win the championship.
But what if, hypothetical, what if Jared got hurt in like week 12 so we can't tank because we'd already won a bunch of games and then our playoff chance is gone? What if that were to happen?
You take it. You take your lump sum. Jared Goff got injured. You come back next year.
I don't like that though.
Yeah, no, we want.
Then you take the rest of the year and you
good
get
teams have good
the rest of the year and you get whatever pick you have.
Good teams
have
good backups.
But then if you
what
miss
team
out
has a good backup? What good team has a good backup?
12.
Name them. Go ahead, name them.
The Niners had a good backup.
Niners had multiple.
Had one.
Joe Burrow. Who's Joe Burrow's
I
backup?
thought Trey Lance would be good.
Exactly. Good team. Patrick Mahomes had Chad Henne, a 17-year veteran. Not a good backup.
Gardner Minshew.
What team is Gardner Minshew on now?
Backup for Jalen Hurts. I don't know now, but he was the backup last year for the Eagles. This is my point.
Gardner Minshew couldn't be the Dallas Cowboys.
Cooper Rush, good backup. Won a bunch of games.
Could be the Philadelphia Eagles.
He was a good backup.
So your whole notion that good teams have good backups is just false.
Who's the Bills quarterback? Backup
Matt
quarterback.
Barkley?
I think it's Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, good player.
Tyler Huntley.
Good player.
He's had to carry them recently.
They didn't make the playoffs.
I'm not saying that your backup needs to be a superstar, Evan. I'm saying your backup needs to be reliable. Like Sean Hill for the Lions. Injuries happen.
Yes, and you take your lump sum.
Put in a backup.
Realize that this season's a
No,
wash.
you want to keep winning because you have a good team.
That's why you tank when he gets injured.
Johnson.
You tank
You can
and you
plug.
draft your rookie quarterback the following year.
And he gets injured, Evan, in week 14, and we're already in the playoffs.
Then you start Connor Cook as
give
a
up
third
and lay
string.
down.
You take it. You take your chance.
You mean you take your loss because
So
you
you
didn't
made the
have a good
playoffs, though.
backup?
That's what you wanted. I want a starter that can
I
contribute.
don't
I don't
want
want
to
a bench
just make it.
player that's a project that's coming off of an injury. That's not going to compete for the
It's the
starting
third round,
job.
Evan,
It's
not
not
a first
competing for the
round.
starting job.
It's not a first-round pick. It was a
Alex,
third
you
round
get
pick.
starters in the draft. Alex, it's a top
Yes,
70
and I
pick.
think we got several
It's a top
stars in other
70 pick.
spots.
But there's a lot of third round picks that just if we got Zach Harrison from Ohio State,
And you see him
He
like
win a playoff.
three
I'd rather
times a
draft
game.
one of the Tennessee wide receivers because JMO's not going to do anything for us.
Well, that's because you're
I'm not
gonna stay
doomsday.
up
I'm
there.
just going off
If
the
they took
track
Jalen
record of
Hyatt,
what
I
he
wouldn't
gave
have been
us.
mad.
I said you said the only successful
Tucker
Hendon
Kraft,
story
Byron
is him
Young,
getting off
Josh
the team.
Downs would have been a nice wide receiver piece.
I don't disagree. I
Trent
understand
Simpson.
wanting to have a starter.
I think that's a good value in a third round. First round projection, second round projection, third round. That would have been a good value there.
Hendon Hooker's same type of projection.
He is a backup
If
quarterback,
he
not a
becomes the face of the
starter.
franchise,
Not yet.
if he becomes the face of the franchise,
Monner didn't start the first 8 games of his rookie season.
Yeah, until we booed him out of the stadium.
Correct.
The Eagles, and then they started him. I get Evan's frustration. I'm not trying to.
I'm
make
not
it feel
saying
like
it's
Alex, what do you do when
perfect
Jared
pick
Goff
by
signs
any
a
means, but
4-year contract and your only reason to having him is, well, what if Jared Goff gets injured?
well, we got to get to that point before I really
The
talk
Chiefs
about that.
were, you know what, when Patrick Mahomes came off the field. That's what was going through their head.
Chet Henne's a reliable backup.
Can we backtrack
Former
and look at his
backup.
first pass that he threw in one of the playoff games when he tried to throw a deep ball to Cincinnati or Cleveland, whoever it was?
I just think that you're deeming Hendon Hooker a lifetime backup, and I don't think
When
that's
you
fair.
re-sign Jared Goff to another 4-year contract, he is the backup.
I think they took him in the case that Jared asked for too much money, and they cut bait with Jared. I honestly believe that. I think they took this kid and they're like, let's see what we have, and if Jared
You're not
asks
going to be able to
for a
evaluate
contract,
him
then
after
he's off
this
our
year
team.
because he's coming out. He has one knee right now. He has one knee.
Well, he is too.
Let's give him a knee and a half.
You got the same amount of knees as Tiger Woods.
No, not quite.
No, Tiger's way worse.
Yeah, Tiger's
That would be
really
way worse.
deep down in the. I just think you should give it a chance.
For your theory, if he becomes a lifelong backup, that's when they could try to trade him. I think. I don't know what they could
I
get.
need starters.
but
I
they could
need
try to deal
impact players in the third round.
Well, luckily we got 4 of them before this pick.
And what's the
Correct.
point of trading back?
Wait,
From this
acquire depth.
trading back.
In the wrong spots.
Ivan,
Quarterback, no.
Give it a chance,
There's nothing to like give it a chance because he's never going to play. He's not playing within the next 2 years.
Okay.
deeming him never going to play ever is just absurd. He hasn't even
Because
practiced.
he can't, because he has one knee.
Maybe this can make Evan feel better. Maybe this will
He
make
is
Evan feel
unable
better.
to play during OTAs in
the
April.
regi-
Rookie OTAs. He can't participate.
Well, rookie OTAs
There's
are not.
OTAs in April.
I think
April's over with. There's OTAs in May.
he'll be
Thank you.
I think he'll be a number 2 on the depth chart like early into the season. He'll be
I don't think so.
he'll be number 2.
I don't think
His
so.
first step is to beat Nate Sudfeld, which no offense to Nate Sudfeld, I don't think
I'm
is that one.
agreeing with you that
I
it's
think
not
the
going to
minute
be
his
hard
knee
to
is like
beat
healthy.
Nate Sudfeld, but his injury is setting him so far back that he won't be able to.
But it was a month before JMO, and we saw JMO like JMO took a while, but I think they were like
They
more
were being
cautious.
cautious with him.
They could do the same thing to Hendon.
They might be cautious.
It's also more for. There's more for Hendon Hooker to learn.
So
than
that
JMO.
means it's more
Also,
worrying than you have to do besides telling JMO to run as fast as you can down the field.
I also think Hendon Hooker has more ability to learn.
Why is that?
Quicker. Just based on the cognitive testing results
what were those
that
test results?
the
Do you have
public
them
can
in
all
front of you?
see.
Oh,
Nope.
I thought you were actually
I'm
doing
just assuming.
stats and facts.
Just a gut
Quarterbacks are typically the smartest guy in
Besides
the
CJ
offense.
Stroud.
It's just usually
just
how
a
it
gut
goes.
feeling I have. I don't think
Besides
Hendon's gonna,
CJ.
gamble.
I think Hendon is not going to do anything like that. Agreed.
Number suggestion: he should wear number 18.
Ew.
You said ew to every number I've said.
No.
Is this a habit you have?
No, I just don't like 18.
Why? Because the other best quarterback in the history of Tennessee football wore that number in the NFL. You don't think it makes sense?
No, I don't think it makes
think it
sense.
makes-
I didn't
I
like
think it makes-
Peyton Manning's number.
I think it makes perfect sense based on the numbers available to Mr. Hendon Hooker. I think it's a perfect number. I can see it. I bet he'll pick that.
Who's
Name
15?
ties. Who's 15? Maurice Alexander. Well, you
8.
just want this guy to be Anthony Richardson? Is that what you want? That is Josh Reynolds.
7?
That is
He
the
can have
time.
number. I don't care what number he wears because I'll never see him on the field. Doesn't matter to me. Pick a number,
3?
Hendon.
3 is Jack Fox.
No.
Give him 3.
Jack Foxes are all pro.
No. All pro punter. Yeah.
4?
Chase Daniel.
Manuel Mosley, we talked about this.
6? Is there any single digits?
Cam Sutton, we talked about. No. Number 1 is, and that's going to Jahmyr Gibbs.
10? Nate Sudfeld?
Nate Sudfeld.
11?
Khalif
Alex,
Raymond.
you know that. Come on. 12 can't be 12. Alex, don't say it because Grant. That's Branch. But he's really wearing.
Brian Branch.
I think Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker can
Yeah,
have
I
number
guess
12 because
18.
Ryan Branch
all,
is
all
wearing
the
number
numbers
19.
suck.
All
Branch
right,
is wearing
we got
19.
there. Got there.
Yes,
I didn't want to.
Branch is going to wear 19.
Trinity Benson.
Is not going to be on the team
Trinity
anymore.
Benson.
17?
DJ Chark.
It's taken 2 by Michael Badgley.
He plays for the Pistons.
Michael Badgley.
Marvin Bagley. I don't want to spend time individually on the rest of the 3 guys because they're all kind of day 3 picks. Or no, I guess Broderick Martin was day 2. Broderick Martin, Colby Sorsdahl, and Antoine Green. These are just diamonds in the rough that Dan's trying to go with. Alex is thumbs down.
I'm gonna give him
assume he's
thumbs up on the wide
receiver
receiver in the 7th round. You never
Rodrigo
know.
and whatnot. I like it.
Christ.
Yeah, I heard he's
Evan believes
I
more
heard
in a
he's a deep
7th round
off.
pick than a first round graded quarterback.
You trust Mel Kiper's first round grade on
Antoine
that
Green
kid?
could play in the first 6 weeks.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
I trust other
I
people.
trust my eyes.
I don't look at Mel Kiper's boards
Yeah,
at
you
all.
do. You're a liar.
me either.
Yes,
honestly.
you do. You have to.
No,
You
I
watch
don't.
the draft
I
on
don't have
ESPN.
ESPN
You had to
Plus.
see
You
it
guys
on the
know
bottom. Boom, roasted.
No, I watched
You
the
guys
college
watch
game day
ESPN?
No, the
version.
first night you did not watch the
Oh
college
my
game day
gosh,
version.
that's crazy. You watched Desmond Howard?
No, we watched the.
If you guys didn't
regular
watch
ESPN
NFL
version.
Network,
I
you're
slipped a
crazy.
little
watched
bit.
ESPN
I
the first
switched
night.
between NFL Network, and everyone yelled and said it was too delayed. So I had to go back to ESPN.
Delayed how? Like, just don't look at your phone.
Oh, somebody
No,
has
like
a
the
problem with
picks
that.
were-
We instantly sit down. Let's backtrack to Thursday night, Grant. This great.
I was not the.
Don't throw
I
other people under the
did
bus.
one
Don't throw other
time.
people under the bus because you're taking words out of your own mouth. Thursday night, we get there.
Evan, you're blaming me, and
What
it's
did
not
you
me.
do to the Lions pick? You spoiled it.
I did not spoil the trade. Someone else did, and then I
And you
looked
spoiled.
at my phone because we were three
No, it
picks
was not
away
3 picks. We
at the
were
time,
on
so
the
I didn't
clock.
even
It
know
went to
we were
commercial.
picking.
Yes.
No, we
yes.
weren't.
We were not 3
Evan.
picks away. We weren't that far behind.
You're lying.
You're lying to make yourself
me
feel
look
better.
bad because you're
You're
in a
lying to
bad
make
mood
yourself
because
feel
we
better.
drafted a quarterback.
You are lying to make
Wrong.
We were not
Completely
3
wrong.
picks behind.
And I didn't tell
You
anyone.
talked to
I
Cody
did
McCray
not
about
tell
it.
a single
You ruined
person.
it. Was going to be a surprise.
I just said you will be surprised.
That is ruining the pick.
And then Wilkins looked and told everyone. Wilkins looked at everyone and said, "He's number 1 on my board."
You said that afterwards.
Wilkins immediately looked at him.
Okay, going back. We instantly got in, and you said everyone put their phones on and don't look at their phones. What are you doing? Not even halfway through the draft. Yes.
Honestly,
He blew the Lions.
I just
pick.
looked at Twitter
Don't
to look.
You mean the
at
number
the
one
trade
social media app
details,
where
and
all
it
information
popped up.
goes
Probably
to?
saw Albert Breer. He saw Albert
wanted
Breer
trade
say the Lions
details.
were drafting.
No, it was some random New York Post guy.
Biggest
Like
two-face
SN.
right here.
No, it was like SNY.
Two-face.
It was like the Fox
Can't even
Sports
take his
Detroit
own
of New
advice.
York.
How will we get better?
It's bad, Alex.
I mean, Evan's just doomsday, negative Nancy about everything. So, there's worse things.
No, I'm not negative Nancy.
Stat
I'm not
for
that actually
positivity.
happened. You couldn't even take your own advice and what you told everybody else to do. And then you ruined the pick.
I'm not doing this, Evan. Not doing it. I didn't tell you who the pick was. Everyone's reaction was what it was.
There was less reaction
Well,
because
for
of you
everyone
ruined it for
listening,
me.
don't be pick spoiler guy. For the NBA draft, let's
Keep
be
telling
better.
yourself
We
that.
get to try again
It's
in a
just a
month.
fact.
Let's be better.
I didn't
Yes, you
ruin
did.
the pick for you, Evan. Who we picked ruined it for
the
you
shock
because you
value
didn't like it.
went way down because of you. All right,
Both of
Alex,
those
true
can
or
be true.
false? You
Evan
told
hated
everybody
the
to put their
pick,
phones
and
on and not
Alex
look
ruined
at them
the
in the
pick.
draft. Okay, true
I
or
did.
false? You looked at your phone not even halfway through the draft. Oh, okay,
To
thank
see
you. Thank you.
trade
Case
details
closed.
of our trade out.
Fact or fiction?
Fact.
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 They show you the
did.
trade details.
Did I tell anyone who we
You
picked?
we're instantly started
Fact or
talking to
fiction?
Cody about it.
Fiction.
Alex, I
He
never
just
said
looked
you
at me and said,
gave
"What are
up.
you looking
I
at?"
said
And I
you
said-
spoiled the pick for people.
Then why does it matter? I didn't spoil
But that's
the
not
pick.
just
I didn't tell
spoiling. That's
you.
not spoiling the pick.
Remember when?
Just because you don't say the name isn't
I
spoiling
didn't,
it.
Exactly. I didn't
Isn't
spoil the
spoiling it.
pick. That
No,
is
it
exactly what it
Wyatt?
means. I didn't spoil the pick. You did not know who we were picking until you saw it live on television.
That's not spoiling the pick.
Remember
for me.
when Wyatt?
You
Can't help you then.
having a reaction and the shock value is spoiling the pick for me.
I wasn't trying to find the pick. I promise I
everyone's
wasn't.
breaking-
And I wasn't
I
trying
didn't
for
go
you
on
to
my
spoil
phone
it
to
for
try
me.
to find the pick. Like I said, I didn't try to go look it up. I just was on it.
Well, you
and
were
it
on your
popped
phone
up
when
because
you
we
said
were like
you weren't
still
going to
2
be.
picks away.
For trade details you didn't need to get.
But I did.
Alex,
Look,
you would
I
have been
get it.
pissed if it
Semantics
happened to
debate.
somebody, if
Both
somebody else
people-
did it to you. So just take accountability for your actions.
Yeah.
It's
Take
happened
accountability
to
for
me.
your actions.
You take accountability
For
at the
what
same
actions?
time.
What
Evan.
actions? What actions did I commit? What crime did I commit?
Overreacting.
No, you ruined the experience.
Leaving a crime scene when you could have stopped him and told the police what really happened.
Remember when
That's the whole point
Wyatt-
is sit in a draft room with
Remember
everybody
Wyatt
is
put
to
the
be
YouTube
in the
live?
moment with everybody.
Yes.
Dude, trust me, I wasn't trying to look it up.
I'm not coming back there next
No,
year.
but Alex,
I'm having my
admit
own
he
death
should
party.
not
We'll
have-
see who shows
Alex
up
should
for
not
it.
have gone to his. That would be hilarious.
It's awfully dramatic,
Alex
Evan.
should not have. Alex
I'm
should
sending
not have
out
gone to
invites
his phone to
tonight.
look at trade details. Everyone.
Actually, we'll be at the draft
That's fine.
because it's in Detroit next year.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we have to worry about it. There won't be spoiling.
No,
We'll
I'm
have
sure
to
you'll
see
get on
it
your
with
phone.
our own
I'm
eyes.
sure of it.
Yeah.
Evan, how am I gonna find out the pick before the pick is announced?
Oh my god, we can't still be talking.
I'm wearing a fanny pack.
Nobody cares if
I'm
that's
having
wrong.
your phone in my fanny pack at the draft next year.
I'm not going to look up our picks at the draft when we're there. And I wasn't even looking this one up. It's just wild to me. I'm the one being called out for this when there was someone in that room that was very clearly doing it every single
He
pick.
didn't spoil it for me. He didn't ruin my mood towards the pick like you did.
He said, she said, you clearly have a vendetta against me.
Well, you told everybody to put their phone down and not look at it, and you instantly abused your own words.
That would make me mad. Remember when Wyatt
spoiled the draft
we
last
traded
year
up for 12, like a minute and a half early, and we thought he was lying, and then it happened. That was an all-time moment. That was great. Positive note out of that, completely different, from at Detroit Lions 313. He tweeted this: "Ahem, per PFF, the top 2 pass catchers and missed forced tackles in the entire Power 5, all positions included. Number 1, Sam Laporta. Number 2, Jahmyr Gibbs. Ben Johnson has 2 more weapons to play with in space."
But
I like that stat.
we don't believe
I
in
think that's
PFF because I sent a PFF stat to Evan and he said,
No, I asked you, and you said
So-
you don't believe
No,
in it yourself.
I think there's a
I just don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
no. I think there's a very clear difference between that, because that's from PFF. It's missed tackle rate, which is a fact, just calculated on missed tackles, versus grades. I
guess
think
that's
grades
fair.
are weird. I don't know how you get the 92.5 grade, but if you just tell me you guys missed tackle percentage is this, then that's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, the tweet is fine with me because I agreed with our picks to begin with. I was cool with them. So that's
I'm surprised on draft night you were just like, yeah, I'm cool with taking that right there. I'm surprised you weren't like, whoa.
I was surprised. Don't get me wrong. I was very surprised. That's why Evan's reaction was spoiled.
Michigan State guys, they're landing spots in the draft
Sad.
just quickly. And
Jaden Reed's going to catch a game-winning
Depressing
touchdown
that
in week
Jaden Reed
17
is in the
for
division.
the Lions not to go to the playoffs like we did it to the Lions.
And we're back to Evan Doomsday scenarios.
I gave you the situation yesterday. And you're like,
I mean,
well,
you
we
did go
will be
through.
conflicted.
You said
That's
how would
what
I
I
feel,
said.
and yet yes, I would feel conflicted.
If you guys root for Jane Reed against the Lions,
I'm not
you
going
can root
to.
for him every other game.
Agreed.
But I hope GJ just clamps him.
I just hope he has to miss for personal reasons
me.
that day.
No, don't say that. Just tell him to play. Just clamp him.
Maybe he just has
And then
to
go be a hero.
pick up his
That's-
mom.
I hope
from
he has a
work or
really good
something.
fantasy game that day.
Doesn't have to be bad personal reasons. I mean, he could score 6 touchdowns against us if we win. I
FYI
don't
to
care.
everybody in our fantasy
Fair.
group to listen to this, Alex has to have Jahmyr Gibbs for at least $25 next year.
No, you said $4.25.
Yeah, but that's where the starting point. If somebody outbids you for it, then he outbids you. You can't bid for anything less than 25.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
So when you first say, you
It's
have to
good
say
value if he
25.
catches 80 passes for sure.
Yep, no
deal.
problem with it.
But if somebody goes higher, it's okay for them.
Yeah, I don't have to keep bidding.
Makes it clear. Jake Moody to San Fran, sweet. He's going to be kicking field goals in the playoffs year 1. Love that for the kid. So I was surprised Schoonmaker went in
Cowboys
the
don't
second
love
round.
Cowboys.
That was jarring to me. I didn't think he was good.
Cowboys love Michigan players.
Bad Michigan players.
And then I don't know why, but the fit of Oluwatimi in Seattle, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think he's going to be a dog there. I don't know why. I don't know what their depth chart looks like. I just think Oluwatimi will eventually be like a 10-year center there.
Former
sense.
Wolverine Zach Charbonnet going to Seahawks. Head scratcher.
They love running backs.
Not
The
anymore.
Seahawks, I think, have drafted the
Who they
most running
lose?
backs.
They lost
in
somebody
last
to the
decade,
Eagles.
I believe. They just draft
Rashad Penny.
They lost Travis
They
Homer.
just draft running backs every
So
year.
they need depth at that position. And with
No,
their
they have
training
Kenneth
staff,
Walker.
running backs beyond where? Like, wrap yourself in bubble wrap until Sunday.
Amir Speed getting drafted.
I heard he ran a really fast 40.
Yeah.
Well, his last name's Speed.
BVS got picked up. Good for the kid.
Bryce Manager.
Drafted.
Good for him.
Yeah, special teams guys. Okay, the last thing is just quickly, maybe like 10 minutes here on the transfers. Out of Michigan State, some stunning news. I don't know if, Alex, you had any tips on this for the blog boys. This hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea this was happening on Sunday.
Nope, no tips.
I didn't know transfer deadline was that day. I didn't know.
Also
what
wasn't
was going
looking
on.
because I didn't think there was any reason to look.
It has to start with Evan. Evan's the biggest Thorne guy. I'm going to try to catch Evan in a trap here. Evan, I think you got to be happy because you say new's always better. So now you're forcing new.
Grass is always
News
greener.
always better
Thoughts
than
on
Keaton
this?
Hauser. Thank you. I'll take that one.
Okay. I can get behind that.
I'm not gonna say much about it. I am in a pickle
Evan's in a pickle right now because he knows.
because I think Peyton Thorne gave us our
Thorne.
best chance to compete this year. I don't think.
I think you guys are better now.
Experience matters in college football.
Well, problem the Keon thing makes it a problem. But if you was
I
just
don't
Peyton
think
Thorne
so.
leaving, you guys would be better, I think. I'm more
No.
afraid of you now when we play.
Inexperienced
I can
quarterback.
safely say that.
How are you scared of
I
an
do.
inexperienced quarterback?
I think he'll be experienced
Not
by
good.
that date.
This is
Not-
doomsday
because
heavy
Not good
podcast
experience.
for Evan.
Whatever.
today.
I'm gonna say this. I think the
Yeah,
locker
I
room
know.
was
It's just-
divided on who they wanted as quarterback, and that's why he left. He had enough of the bullshit, and he finally left. Clearly, Keon had his own.
Do you think any coaches? I mean, the rumor was that Keon was going to leave because
So I think the
Peyton
locker
stayed.
room was divided.
That's what
And
everyone's
also,
tweeting.
there's two ways that I put it. Locker room's divided. So clearly, people supported Thorne as a quarterback, senior captain, been the captain the last 2 years, 2.5 years. And then there's other quarterbacks that looked at the offense and was like, we need to make a change here. So that's where I think the locker room was divided on that situation. Next,
Can we be clear that the locker room was divided between Kim and Thorne?
yes, I'm doing Kim
Kim,
and
Noah Kim.
Thorne based off of what reps we saw at the spring game. Hauser barely did anything in the spring game.
And tweets. Malik Carr
Yeah.
tweets.
I listened way too. I'm a sicko because, when your rival has problems, I wanted to hear all the juicy details. So I listened to Justin Thiem talk about it. And for better or worse, he does know a lot about the
I didn't
program.
listen to
I have to tip him that. He said there was 3 scrimmages, like the spring day one. There was 3 of them. Only one was public, and they purposely made Thorne look like he was the starter. They said Keon Hauser won the first day, and then Noah Kim was like kind of doing well in the others. So I think they just showed the public what they wanted to see. But there's more to the story. Like there was 3 of those scrimmages is what his thing was from people in the program he talked to.
Well, that is normal. They post like highlights from the scrimmages that aren't seen to the public.
I don't know.
It was,
if
but you
those
can't
are-
blame beat writers for thinking
I don't
it was
think those are
Thorne's
accurate.
job
I really
based on
don't
what
think
they
those are
saw
accurate
publicly.
because I've been at the April practices and the scrimmages that they had, at least when I was there, were scripted plays and scripted of what quarterback was going to be somewhere. So like that day could have been Thorne only gets 10 snaps where Keon Hauser gets 25. And it's scripted already pre-practice.
Yeah.
No, granted, I mean, Thorne could have not had a good day, and Hauser could have had a, fantastic and earned his 25 snaps. But it's not like where it's like a live scrimmage and we're playing Thorne. Okay, he's playing bad, and Hauser comes in. It's like more scripted. The defense has their scripted plays. The offense has their scripted plays of what they're running against each other.
I guess big picture is I just think maybe Thorne's name was number 1 on the depth chart, but I think he talked to Mel, and Mel's like,
True.
it's an open competition, and you're going to deal with it. And Thorne said, I'm going to go to
And
Auburn because they
my
promised me a
second
starting
point.
job.
My second
I think
point
that's
is
exactly
I
how it
have another
happened.
point. There's 2 points. If you
1000%.
put your name in the transfer portal, it's free agency, so anybody can talk to you legally. So I mean, I don't blame them for that. You always see where options are and what happens. Now my third point, I think, is one of the very most important points, is this offense hasn't gotten better. You take the 1 year away from a generational talent to walk on East Lansing's campus, and the offense isn't that good. Kenneth Walker blemished most of the problems with the offense in Jay Johnson. It's pretty easy to hand the ball off to a Heisman Trophy candidate. He hasn't developed
Agreed.
anybody. I mean, you can say, okay, he drafted Jaden Reed, but I think Jaden Reed did that himself on the 50-50 balls because the offense can't scheme anybody open. Now you look at what Keon Coleman's doing. He potentially first or second round talent based off of this year and based off of going forward. He's a 6'3" wide receiver that can run and can jump. So, I mean, is Jay Johnson really going to be able to get him the ball 80 catches? I don't know. I don't think so. And if I'm Keon Coleman, I'm looking in a situation that better suits me for my skills to get me to the second level, and Jay Johnson's offense definitely isn't that.
And if Keon's open, could Peyton hit him the way he needs to?
I was going to say, you can poo-poo on Jay Johnson all you want. You still got to have a quarterback.
It's easier to hit a wide open wide
offense.
receiver than just throwing up a 50-50 ball, because that is the...
I've seen Peyton Thorne miss a
gajillion wide open receivers
throws.
is ridiculous amount.
A gajillion was a crazy.
Just wanted to say,
So
just to get you riled up. But yes, he's missed plenty of open receivers. Peyton Thorne's
I'm
not
not
an
saying
all-American
he is, but he's the best
quarterback.
offensive
He's not a
Michigan,
bad
best
quarterback. He's not an
quarterback
all-American quarterback.
that was on Michigan State's roster.
You don't know
I
that.
do.
Single season passing touchdown record.
Most experienced.
Hard to live up to.
No, if he was the best. He was actually
You don't
the
know
best
if he's the
because
most
none
talented.
of the other ones didn't play last year, so he was the best.
And maybe at one point. He might not be the best anymore.
He had the best season throwing touchdowns in Michigan State history.
He had a
school
running
record.
back that opened
School
a lot
record.
of things up for him.
But the
School
running back
record.
didn't score passing touchdowns.
No, but that running back
Well, I can
opens
tell
up
you
the
this:
field. for
Kim
everyone
is not
else.
winning a New Year's Six bowl next year, so it doesn't even
Nathan
matter.
Carter. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't think it's just
But it's
because he sucks. That's not.
I think we'll learn a lot about the whole Jay Johnson QB dynamic, which I'm fascinated to learn about as a viewer. Is like, I still think Evan's point about the offense is very valid, and I think people recognize that, and that's why they may have left. But I also, for the record, I don't think Keon's coming back. I know they're floated out. He might. It helps his chance, but I think it's like
Yeah,
a
he's not coming
10%
back.
chance. There's just no chance. Like, there's a very minimal chance he just walks it back.
I would say it's pretty unlikely.
Like, he's going to get – I know Michigan State has money, but he's just –
The rumor boards
God.
claim that
He's gonna
Keon
get Godfather
leaving is
offers.
business related only, and he doesn't really necessarily want to leave Michigan State. He likes the school, and that Michigan State is going to put together a new package for him, but at the same time, he's going to get offered $1 gajillion from like USC or LSU.
The rumors from Thind was that he kind of saw how like the talk about Jaden Reed
Other teams were
went-
tampering with it by saying like you're gonna not get drafted in the first round because you play for Jay Johnson and have this quarterback.
Yeah. So if he needs to go to a place that has a good QB if he's going to stay to his word, but
USC, Lincoln
We'll see.
Riley, Caleb Williams, just go there.
that would be disgusting.
Just go there.
I kind of feel bad for you guys. That does
Super
suck.
sucks.
You don't
Big
feel
In terms of
sucks.
Keon, like I said, Evan, I don't know if it's just because I came out of one of these scandals or these drama, but we got better when Cade left. So I'm all in. I'm not saying you have a JJ. I'm just saying
There's
it
a
can't
difference
work
when
out.
your backup quarterback's better
Can
than
work
your
out.
starter.
But Evan,
That
that
is
could be the
not
case.
Could be the case.
I don't know why you
That
just
is
keep
not the
ruling things
case.
out so fast. You're just
It's
once
not
again
the
you're stating
case.
it as fact when you haven't seen
JJ
him
was
play yet.
playing, and
We
you
have
could
no
obviously
idea.
see who was better talent-wise.
Some people view that Noah Kim was obviously better talent-wise than Peyton Thorne last year. People really
Well,
do
those
think
people are
that.
idiots.
Not saying I'm one of them. Just saying it's out there.
But to the public, Evan, his first year he played JJ, he was Fumble Boy. That's what everyone called him, Fumble Boy. That's all we knew of him. And then he had his game against Hawaii, but it's like, it's Hawaii. And then we didn't really get to see it mature until later in the season. So I think we don't know anything.
You don't have time to wait.
We
If you
know
want to
nothing
compete for the
as
Big Ten
fans.
champions, like
We
you
know
said you were
nothing.
going to this year, you don't have time to wait around. And
Well, that's not.
no, I know. So
Well,
that's
not happening.
that's why I'm upset that Thorne's not the quarterback.
I wouldn't say declare that as fact either. But yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, no. Unless like if Noah Kim or Caden Hauser is like a top 5 quarterback in all of college football, then maybe you can. But like, I also think if Peyton Thorne played, you're not contending for the Big Ten.
I think you have
it's
a better
smart
chance
long-term
competing for the
in
Big Ten
sense
with
that
Thorne
Peyton
as your
Thorne is
quarterback
gone.
than the other two.
But at the end, well, I think Grant's point
But,
is you
like,
don't have a
you're-
chance of
I-
doing it anyways.
I think you're playing for 4th place with Thorne. I think that's what you're going into the season playing for. I think Penn State's going to be great with Drew Allen.
I mean, I'll take my chances with the James Franklin-led team.
So you think Grant Noah Kim elevates us to third?
I
in the East?
mean, plus you get Penn State and Michigan
No,
at
I
home.
think your floor just dropped. You could finish like below. You probably finish below.
You get Penn State at Michigan at home.
That's a dog.
You think we're worse than Maryland?
Depending on your QB situation. If these kids are not good, then you'll be awful. That's Evan's point.
There is no
But
long-term in college
long-term,
football. You got
okay,
4
let me
years
bring
with
it
a
back
quarterback, so there's no long-term. It's you win now or I'm get out.
Okay, well with Thorne though, if Thorne played and let's say you went 8-4, okay, you flip the
bad.
page,
And now
he's
Keon
gone,
Hauser started.
and then now you're having Caden Hauser be like a junior, but he's never even played in college football. So what if he's not
It's a
good, and then
college
that's a lost
cycle.
season? I think throw one of them in.
Right, if
say
you
throw
throw in
Caden
them
Hauser
into
in
the fire this
fire
year, it's a
and you
lost
prepare for
season, and now you have
2024.
to. Now we're relying. Now we know that we don't have any quarterback on roster. Now we have to do something about it.
But Evan, you have
No,
to
I
find
think
out at
this year-
some point. You can't just
I think
forever
this
push
year
it off.
is a lost season, and you throw Caden Hauser into the fire, and then you
Well, the roster's gonna be a lot worse
and that's
next
you're
year.
trying to do something
Yes,
like the year after this coming one, or you're saying this year?
Why?
Windman gone, Ruel gone.
Well, I guess it's so hard to tell though.
It's two
Well,
guys.
Brantley just transferred, so
we're
they're gone.
screwed. Whatever.
Our offensive, our two starting offensive.
I
line
will
that came
say
back
if
for
this
6
year
years
is
gone.
like
But Evan,
I will say
you
this.
recruit, and that's why you
if you're
build
missing
to
a bowl
recruiting.
game, if you miss another bowl game, recruiting is going to be bad because now
Agreed.
it's not like a fluke.
Agreed.
That's the point, Evan. I can go back.
do
to
need to make a bowl
like
game.
Peyton Thorne could probably get you to 8-4, and then you can like say last year was a fluke. Our program's trending up. I think you guys have a higher ceiling, lower floor with what happened.
Hard to disagree.
If you're in, but
Evan, the grass is always greener.
Yeah,
False.
like I said, if Keon stayed, I also think you guys get some transfer.
Cool, we got a Grand Valley
a
State
little
wide
bit.
receiver.
But if Keon had stayed and just Thorne left, gonna be a dog.
Alabama kid.
Now he's not picking Michigan State.
I'm sneaky going to be a bigger
he
Michigan
is.
State football fan this year than Evan because I love Kim. Like I'm just going
Well,
to.
great,
Kim
good thing
Sanders.
because you can have my season tickets.
It's
'cause
gonna be
there's
Alex
an
and-
open spot under Alex's ticket package.
No, I don't want to go to the games. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. That's also disgusting that they did it. If that's true, the day after renewals, that's messed up.
Well, Evan and I already renewed.
Alex
so-
already renewed, and he has an
Tough.
extra ticket if anybody wants it.
Evan, you can't say yes and then
Yes, I
just
can.
back
If somebody
out.
pays
It's
for
not
it, I
how
can
that
back
works.
If somebody pays
You
for
can,
my
yes,
half,
agreed.
yes, somebody
You can
I can
work.
back out. Yeah.
I said
So,
agreed.
Any listener
I
that
said
wants
you
to
can
see
sell
tickets
it.
wants to
I
sit
wanna
next
know.
to your buddy Alex, shoot us a DM.
The last question I want to know from you, Evan, is like, what kind of a start to the season do we need
Beat
to know
Washington
Kim
at
to
home.
be in and join the
Whoa,
fan?
man.
Beat Washington at home.
Hooker.
Go toe to toe with Michael Penix and beat Washington at
So
home.
3-0.
And I'll finally say yes.
So beat a top 10 team
Let's go.
in week 3.
At home,
What does Caden Hauser have to do?
same thing. Beat Washington
Same
at
thing,
home.
probably.
No.
Same standard. Go like what?
So whoever plays quarterback
Yes.
has to win that game. What if the defense gives
For him
up
to be
60?
Well, we didn't even get up 60 last year, and we were down 22-0.
Score 65.
Score
Yeah,
65.
there you go. Score 65.
All right. That could happen earlier than I was expecting. I'm in on that. All right. We'll
I
keep
mean,
them
you
around.
have the biggest cakewalk of like an FCS Richmond in week 2. So like
You gotta get some confidence.
win
flowing after the
Washington
first 2
at
games.
home. Go toe to toe with Michael Penix.
No, Kim's gonna be so good, and Evan's gonna be fuming.
He's short, so
Kim
Good luck.
Sandley. Bryce Young short.
talent
Everyone's like,
there
actually
might
short.
be a little different. Alex, I stood next to Noah Kim. Noah Kim helped me up
Maybe.
in case elevator because I forgot to get my student
Yeah,
ID.
but that's when he was a freshman.
okay. He might have
He's bulked
gotten
up.
like
He's 6'2".
he is not 6'2". I can
It
tell you
could be
that.
Caden Hauser.
He's
Chief of
no
Prop
taller
thinks
than
it's
Grant.
Caden Hauser. I think.
It can't be Caden Hauser.
That's just a fact.
I'm excited to see how this plays out. I hope it's not too doomsday. I hope things work out.
I feel good.
Dude, I'm gonna make so much
Ish.
money off of selling my.
You can't feel
Peyton Thorne and Noah Kim are the same
they're
size.
not, Alex. I saw them in person.
6'2",
Alex, I've
180,
seen them in
6'2",
person
180.
together. They are not the same size.
All right. You guys are semantics debates tonight.
Alex, I stood right next to him.
Cheers to episode.
I just think you just got to give it a chance,
119.
Evan. It's not fun living the
I have
life
to give
you're
him a
living
chance
right
because
now.
Alex, you can't back out now. Alex, I'm a diehard Michigan State fan.
Well, yeah, because I paid for it.
Cheers. We're all Florida Panther fans.
That was huge. We needed that.
Good for them.